This telecast is copyrighted by Hometown 24 for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or retransmission of this game without the express written consent of Hometown 24 is prohibited.
Brought to you by Double Quick, Keisha Caldwell Bankruptcy Express, Hometown Pharmacy and Hazard, Mountain Health Alliance, TPBT Bancorp, Primary Care Centers, Kentucky Farm Bureau Whitesburg, and Heidi Hoffensberger Law.
Let's go. Welcome to the special edition of BT Dub. The dub stands for whistle. This is my Halloween costume.
I think they know. That's you. Who are you? You?
Yeah, me.
Oh.
I'm a coach.
You should have won this, Ethan.
I'm the coach. We basically dress the same every day. This is it. Except he's wearing this to work. I don't wear this to like during the work day.
He doesn't go to work.
I dress up at work every day. Listen, I'm not the smartest coach in the 14th region basketball wise. I'm not the best coach. I am the most well-dressed coach.
You are the most, not the most well-spoken.
Not the most well-spoken.
Most spoken. You're pretty good. You're pretty well-spoken. the bestest spoken.
I'm the bestest dressed.
Hey, let's show this. Let's show this on air.
Yeah, you want to see that? We worked hard to get air in the shot.
Yeah, that's the best we can.
We worked really hard behind the scenes here, as you can tell by this immaculate professional setup.
Worked that hard. Just so everybody's aware, we have a setup. We just don't have it here.
Just so everybody knows, Heavy D has a podcast that is amazingly successful. And
that's not true.
All we had to do was go to his house in Neon.
Nobody wants to go there.
Here we are. This is what you're getting for your last episode.
It's good. This is the coach's cave.
I like that.
We're in the coach's cave.
I like that.
Yeah.
I always called it like the garage, but I like Coach's cave.
Coach's cave's better than the garage.
We're surrounded by cool stuff. It's Halloween. You're watching us on Friday. It's Halloween. It's playoff time in the state of the bluegrass. Let's get it.
Why didn't you tell me to wear a mask?
I don't know. You know, last time we did this, we actually did this with Ethan 2 years ago. We had a special Halloween recorded episode because, you know, we have kids and we take them trick-or-treating on Halloween night. So, yeah.
Look, I'm you. That was my outfit.
I love it. Please wear that out tomorrow. Please.
I will. Just wear just the helmet. Nothing else.
Oh, I've got some spandex, bro. I got some
Your
spandex.
spandex will fit me. Spandex will fit anybody, I guess.
If you make it.
We're so off the rails. We're not even talking about football.
So, here we are, 2 years later, removed, bringing you last episode of BT Dub for the regular season. Who knows what Josh has planned for the off season? I don't know. Who knows?
We actually don't even have a schedule. He just calls us the day before.
We have no schedule.
We got to have you here.
And I'm like, hey, I'm sending you a recording. He's like, sure. So here we are. With that said, BT Dub, we are wrapping up the season that has been and looking forward to the last week of the season. And in that, of course, our last Cat Talk of the year. And I can probably safely say this is where we leave it with UK football. Is that, of course, in the week that was in Cat Talk, we lost to Tennessee. But People really high on Cutter Boley. I don't know how you feel about that. Like,
I think he's cool. Like that's what I think. I think we're not used to having a quarterback who's cool. Like
he's cool.
He's like cool. The post game interview, he was cool.
He's from Kentucky.
Yeah, he's from Kentucky, which means he's probably not. I mean we don't really produce like quarterbacks all the time.
Right.
So,
He's Tim Couch. I like him. I think if this season so far has shown us anything, which is obviously what we have so far, is probably all we're going to have, right? I mean, I'm not looking for any like crazy sparks of crazy hope, but at any rate, I love Cutter Boley. I love some of the. We have some pieces like defensively. We've really struggled. Obviously, I think Tennessee put up 44, 54, or whatever it was, but like Cutter looks good. And he is a gunslinger, and I like him. And I think he's just a freshman, obviously, so we have something to look forward to in the future.
As long as he stays.
Yeah, no matter who the coach is, and you hope so, because you do have the guys like Dane Key and the other receiver, Barry Brown, who left in the year. And I saw their stats the other day. They're not having amazing years wherever they were at. Matter of fact, they probably would have been just as good staying at Kentucky, but they probably wouldn't have got paid as much.
Turns out maybe they're not that great.
Maybe, but yeah, you definitely can't lose somebody like Cutter Boley, and I think he stays. Be interesting to see how the coaching situation.
The coaching is what matters, right? Because if Stoops does crazy stuff like, I mean, I guess Franklin is almost basically confirmed for Virginia Tech.
Is he?
I seen a thing today that said it's like everything but like the contract.
I've seen this mentioned all week. What do you think is the best job available? You know, you got Virginia Tech, you got LSU, you got Penn State.
I think Penn State. So, just because I think the LSU job's not available.
Who do you think it is?
I think it's Saban.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I heard Mama Saban say that, yeah, he may want the job and this all sounds great, but Mama don't want the job and that's what matters.
Now, that might be true, but, I mean, if he'd win a national championship his first year.
I think so too.
I think he'd win a national championship coaching there.
But I mean, and granted, Bill Belichick in a much different situation in North Carolina. But my thought process goes, it's man, and maybe I'm wrong, but is it hard now to get out and get back in and still be great?
He's not been out that long.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
He's not been out that long, and I don't think that's necessarily true anymore because of the transfer portal. Because he's just going to come in and everybody from Alabama is going to transfer to LSU.
And Belichick's situation is a lot different because it was NFL. Yeah. And he honestly just wasn't that good when he got out of the NFL and then came back.
How long has Saban been out? Are there kids at Alabama?
2 years. 2 years, 3 years. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know, but theoretically there could be a senior.
There's kids at Alabama to school, not necessarily the football program.
Oh, definitely. I don't know. That would be interesting. I've heard, of course, all the Kentucky fans are like John Summerall, and that would be great in theory. But now all of a sudden this week, of course, you've probably heard that John Summerall, the coach at Tulane, that is a UK through and through guy, has been mentioned for the LSU job. So, in my greatest hope, I hope Saban gets LSU.
Saban gets LSU, Franklin gets Virginia Tech, Stoops goes to Penn State.
That's a stretch. I don't know.
I don't know. Why would Penn State hire Stoops? I
don't know. Well, I saw the top 10 list. I wish I had this to share, but I saw the 10 list of coaching. I'm hitting the table. We're intimate tonight. We're so close. Okay. So it's like I saw the top 10 list, and this probably shocks no one, but Stoops' name wasn't even on there. So now I'm worried because there's so many jobs open and so many coaches fired. So there's 10 more coaches better.
We're just going to keep Stoops now. So let me ask you this. This is something I talked about with a coworker. Do you think Virginia Tech from Kentucky is a lateral movement, a vertical movement, or I think it's down.
You think it's down?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I feel like Kentucky, at least Kentucky gets television time. You know, you don't see a lot of Virginia Tech.
Is it a year that they get to play at Bristol Motor Speedway or not?
That's what matters.
I'm going to say that Virginia Tech is attractive because it's the ACC. And they're like the ACC is just, I mean, granted, the SEC is unpredictable.
He's not going to get crushed by Tennessee and Alabama and Georgia and LSU every year.
And forgive me for being like biased toward the SEC, but I think it's all factual. We could all agree. Like I think that you have an opportunity to win more at Virginia Tech. Now, whether that makes it more appealing than Kentucky, we've seen Kentucky and Virginia Tech play in bowls before, which was fun. But
ACC also. ACC, North Carolina's ACC, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, Duke, North Carolina.
Duke. Hey, thank you, Duke. Thank you, Duke. As a Colts fan, thank you, Duke.
Yeah, thank you. Jones? Oh, my God, this Daniel Jones resurgence is wild. The Colts are wild. The Colts are Heavy D's team, so congratulations. Thanks. The Bengals are mine, and I cried all Sunday evening.
Oh, yeah, they're so.
That was terrible. Gut-wrenching. I'm not talking about that.
It's fine.
Moving on from Cat Talk to positive things and good things. That was the week in Kentucky high school football. Of course, you missed us last week.
My bad.
My bad. I was DJing a dance. My daughter is involved, and there you go.
I was asleep.
So, the week that was in Kentucky high school football, really quickly, Letcher, no doubt, and we knew this would happen we saw this writing on the wall in that district of who they were, who they had week in and week out. And of course, unfortunately, they lost the one to Lawrence, but kind of run through the rest of the district, and that's no different with Powell, 56-14.
I mean, they are who we thought they were. Let me say SEC.
So we predicted that one pretty correctly.
Yeah.
And Powell, traditionally just always a team that kind of maybe competitive, but gets by, and I think Letcher is, of course, traditionally this team that has figured it out and found ways to win these type of games,
Especially now. I mean, Gunner's figuring it out and receivers are figuring it out. Seems like maybe they're going to get healthy end of the year.
More talk at the end of the show about Letcher, and I've put in some fun nuggets tonight.
I love nuggets.
Possible BTW POY Player of the Year.
Oh.
Or a POTY potty. You could be the BTW potty.
You do love a potty.
I love the potty.
I love the potty.
Corbin over Perry, and this was all potty for Corbin. I mean, if you're talking good potty, Corbin. The bad flush potty.
That's rough.
Perry, 47-13.
Hard to follow Corbin. I'm never surprised by a Corbin score.
I ain't neither. I ain't neither. And what I hear, what I would want is I've heard that the Corbin Stadium is incredibly amazing, and I would love to go.
Have I been to the Corbin Stadium? No. I don't think I've been to the Corbin Stadium.
They just revamped it 2 years ago.
I've been to the indoor stuff in Corbin.
All good.
Yeah.
I went and watched T-Pain once at the arena there.
Yeah, I watched wrestling at the arena there.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
He quit early because it was Easter. Everybody was mad, upset.
He quit early because it was Easter?
Bro, this concert was over in 30 minutes. It was 9:30, and he's like, all right, guys, it's Easter. They told me I got to wrap it up. God bless.
That don't even make any sense.
Pikeville over Hazard. I almost said something. But Pikeville over Hazard, 24-6.
Thought it'd be closer than that.
Well, Hazard was coming out of the bye. Hazard, this really, really tough schedule. And I knew that Coach Chandler prepped for this one. And, of course, Murph Shoptaw and Gavin Johnson, some of these guys we'll bring up later in the show as possible potty players. But had amazing years. But Pikeville is a lot. Pikeville, we know, beat Raceland early in the year. We saw Raceland up close and personal at the Holler. And
they're so big.
Huge.
They're so big. Big old boys. Every one of them beat me up.
You could have put
big old boys.
University of whatever across the top. What's the name of the fake school?
Oh man, what is
Bishop
something, Saint Bishop. Because if you don't know what we're talking about, you can look that up. They played 45-year-old men, played a bunch of 17-year-olds.
You could have been
it was awesome.
Bishop on the front of that jersey, and
I wouldn't have known any better.
That's him. Is this on ESPN? No, it's on HT24. Even better. Not squeaks by Floyd in probably a closer one than what people anticipated, as Floyd continues to be competitive but not get over the hump and not finds a way to do it. And improving their record to 7-2. Not squeaks by Floyd, 38-36. Is that a surprise?
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised Floyd made it that close.
And
I guess I didn't watch this game. Was the game close the whole time?
Yeah, like competitive. No, I mean I think it was competitive all whole way through, awesome. And I think it took a big game from Shane Gibson that we'll talk about in coming up.
Yep.
Of course, Bryson Everidge is like state leading tackler at this point. We're going to talk about him more later in the show. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that Knott finds a way to win it. I might be surprised a little bit in how competitive this was, but Floyd has athletes. They just got to figure out how to win. Leslie coming off of a bye. Of course, I'm sure you've heard the news at this point that Coach Hubbard got suspended for a couple games. A lot of talk there. It's like maybe said some things that offended, obviously some parents and coaches. And then there's this back and forth as to what's too much in the huddle, what should stay in the huddle, what should stay in the locker room. How, harsh coaching, like a lot of back and forth about that now because you've got, of course, Gen X and millennials and Gen Zs versus baby boomers.
Get into a whole thing here, but maybe just let your kids be coached.
I agree, but that's easy for me to say as I'm dressed as Coach Ethan Cummings tonight. That's easy for me to say. But, yeah. I agree. And who knows what beyond, we don't know the details behind that situation. So really sensitive. I know I support Leslie County Schools, Coach Hubbard. And I'm sure everything is going to be fine. They lost to Prestonsburg 49-14 and nothing to hang your head about there as Prestonsburg moves on to like 9-0.
Scored 14 on Prestonsburg.
They moved to like 9-0 now. And one of the tops in 2A. Be interesting to see what Prestonsburg does, P-Bird does in the playoffs. And no stranger to controversy, you sent me the video of Martin County and Prestonsburg a little touchy after the game.
I mean, that video was wild. There was so much going on.
There was like parents, adults.
Everybody on the field.
Pushing, running around.
Just go home. Just go home.
Just go home.
Just go home, man. It ain't worth
we're
it.
all hung up. Can we get some positivity this Halloween?
Ooh.
Speaking of positivity, Breathitt was very much to the positive. 49-0 over Jackson County.
Sometimes being a coach, the hardest things are just being like, hey, we're gonna lose. We gotta play through it.
Get better.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot in my coaching career. And I mean, what else can you do? You get better.
It's a bear here.
Life lesson, kids. There's probably a bear out there. There's coyotes running around crazy. It's probably what tried to get in my window. Breathitt over Jackson County, and safe to say, down in BC on the riverbanks, Coach Moore and the boys, Holland and Thomas, have figured this out and watch for them to get rolling in the playoffs, which we are going to talk about again coming up.
We will. Playoffs?
Playoffs? Not talking about the playoffs and moving into our final touchdown rundown of the season. And of course, we begin.
Always.
I'm going to let you start it.
Gunnar Holbrook, 3 for 4.
And our other possible POTY Potty
crazy
BTW Player of the Year possibles. Another name, Garrett Howard, of course, with 2 touchdowns.
Speaking of those wrestling big kids, Garrett's huge.
He is. He also had 119 yards on the ground.
Yeah, that's insane. Brett Sturgill had a touchdown as well.
No name unfamiliar to the list. Gunnar Holbrook he had a rushing touchdown to go with those 4 throwing, so 5 total.
Beautiful. Lots of touchdowns for this game. Colton Stidham had 1.
Mason Stevens had 1.
Hayden Brown.
And of course,
Presto P-Dog.
Preston Combs and all those guys had 1 catching from, of course, Gunnar. Big seasons for a few of those guys. And newcomers, a new good season for a lot of those guys that you're going to hear.
A couple of dudes freshmen, man.
In years to come, absolutely.
Good teams.
To the other side here of Perry, Parker Maggard, of course, with the throwing touchdown.
Tyler Robinson had a catching touchdown.
And this is crazy. Like, this happens each week that we have we have like 3 fumble bumbles or we have like 3 picks for a touchdown. This week in threes, we have a kickoff return for a touchdown, and that was by Mr. Tyler Robinson. Great game from Tyler.
Devin Hester style. Murph Shoptaw.
You know, of course,
Had a rushing.
the lonely touchdown on the board for the Dogs this past week against Peeville was Murph. So shout out to Murph, who's had a great season. Possible potty coming up later in the show.
Possible potty.
Connor Napier with the throwing touchdown for the Pats.
Shane Gibson, 260 and 2.
So if you want to give credit to a single individual for the victory against Floyd, I think you're looking at paper and you got to give it to Mr. Shane Gibson, who's had a great season.
Every week we're talking about Shane Gibson.
Every week had a great year on the ground, man. We hope it continues into the playoffs for him. 260 and 2 touchdowns. Another name familiar to the list, Preston Shepard with 1.
Had a single. Connor Napier had a single.
He had a single rushing touchdown to go with that throwing touchdown. And then, of course, I didn't know that. One of my favorite, of course, people to talk to there from Connaught was, had been all year, wishing him the best in the playoff run, Chance Ambergy.
We talked to Chance like our first show. And we stopped and walked by and talked to him.
Yeah.
Hung out a little while. Some motivation. He's had a good season. You're welcome for the pep talk before the season, Chance.
It's because you talked to us, Chance. Yeah. And then, of course, Caden Caldwell with a rushing touchdown.
And Mason Lewis had one of the running Devin Hester kickoff return touchdowns.
He could go all the way.
And there's nothing better than watching Devin Hester return kicks.
Nothing. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. Miles Holland.
Good name.
Miles Holland, who has figured this out. Listen, the kid threw 5 passes.
That is so beautiful.
4 completions, and 3 of those were for tuttas. So, congratulations, Miles.
Those are Wildcat stats. Jaden Gibson had a touchdown.
And, of course, Eli Thomas with the rushing touchdown.
Jason Combs had a receiving touchdown. Jason Combs had a receiving touchdown.
John Holland, receiving touchdown.
Austin Barker. We said that name before?
Yep.
Austin Barker.
Receiving touchdown.
Everybody catching that.
And
do it.
Let me get at least one.
You have it.
Could go all the way. Kick off.
Go all the
Jaden Gibson with the 1 kickoff return.
So it's 3
for
in threes. 3 kickoff returns is kind of crazy.
It's so ironic. Like, how has this happened? All right. Moving on from, of course, the offensive side of the football in the touchdowns that happened last week and the week before from across the local coverage area, we are on to tackle box. Final one of the regular season.
That's 1 tackle out of the box.
Let's, Josh, we're coming back. Josh, we can come back for a playoff preview. We can do that anytime.
We'll do
it on a Saturday morning.
Whenever look at this masterful work we're doing with absolutely nothing.
I mean, we're on my phone in the cave, in the garage, coach's cave, in the garage. Bare bones here. We have nothing. We're using the light from the laptop.
I think it's good. It works.
I do too.
You can see my face.
Tackle box. Last one of the regular season. It kicks off with Braden Barnett with 5.
Aiden Carr with 8. 8's a lot. These numbers are so inflated for us. Like looking at these tackles, 17, 20 tackles every week. 8's a lot of tackles, man.
8's a lot. Gavin Johnson had 17.
That's berserk. Connor Holbrook had 14.
And Jackson Deaton, of course, wrapping it up for the Dogs, had 11. That's a lot of tackles amongst the boys.
Tyler Robinson with another 8.
Tyler Robinson had a great game last week. Garrett Howard, of course, no stranger to the list.
How's he do it?
14 tackles on the year. We're going to talk about how many he has on the season coming up. And their matchup, of course, looming Friday night is where we're at tonight, where you're at tonight, coming up in Belfry at Letcher. Big one. Which takes us to, sadly, the final edition of Heavy's Hawks.
Everybody, man. All the linemen. I know all quarterbacks shout out the linemen. There's a reason they buy them watches. When they have a good season, it's because that's actually who matters. Talk about the Colts. It's like the pros. The Colts are good because they have a line. That's why. And like all the good teams, they got LCC, Breathitt, all those teams just have huge dudes up front. Shout out all the linemen.
Shout out to all linemen, and
Haluva.
Congratulations on a great year with a lot of young guys at Perry, a lot of young guys on each of these teams that we expect to hear again next year. And next year, in the local coverage area, let's collectively, we're going to do a better job of shouting those guys out. Shoot us their names. We had a few earlier in the year. We want to keep that going throughout the year.
We're going to get lineman names. Next year, I promise, we're going to have lineman names every episode.
Promise. Sorry. There you go. Promise. Congratulations on a great year, guys. Moving forward, we're doing something a little special here. If you could give us like the wave.
I don't know that sound. I make the sound. It's a different sound. I do it every week.
It's your segment. You can do whatever sound you want.
That's not the sound I want to do. It's just the sound they're getting.
It's not. We are combining. So how about this thrown at you, Jeremiah? We're combining Primetime Preview and Heavy D's Prophecies.
I didn't know. Now we know.
Nobody knew. It's Halloween. Boo!
It scared me a little bit, actually.
Primetime Preview plus, I'm going to knock that off the stand eventually. Primetime Preview plus Heavy D's Prophecies. We're coming to you. Heavy D record of 30-7, which,
I mean, what can I say? I know everything about high school football.
And of course myself with a record of 27-10.
It's all right.
A little wrench in the system tonight. We're almost going to pick 2 games because, and the reason this has happened tonight, of course, I'm moving into our last regular season. In the event that Josh says, no, you guys suck, you can't do a playoff preview, we're going to go ahead and preview the first round of these playoff games. As you guys know, many of our district games have wrapped up and are done for the season, and all of our coverage area teams thus far have their matchups rolling into 2 weeks from now in the first week of the playoffs. So we're going to lightly cover those as we work through our preview for this Friday night.
Playoffs. We're here, baby. We're here. We're at the playoffs. He didn't score.
H.N. didn't?
No, he didn't score.
I really need him to. What's the score? Letcher versus nothing like Junior Matthews to say, hey guys, let's
end the season on fire.
Let's test ourselves in a huge way going into the playoffs. So Belfry is at Letcher. Of course, Belfry, another great year and what we would think a traditional Belfry team to be. Tons of athletes, great outside edge speed, great inside power. Going to be a tough matchup on the hill for the Letcher Cougs, who are coming off a nice run here. And even though they dropped the Lawrence game, they played right with Lawrence the entire time.
It was a good game.
It was a good game.
Good loss.
So, I mean, it's not unfeasible here. I think we're looking forward again to the playoffs. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and pick this Letcher Belfry, and then we'll talk about the first round of the playoffs for Letcher, which of course is at Letcher.
You gonna pick an upset? I'll pick Belfry.
I'm gonna pick Belfry.
Yeah.
But that will move us quickly on to. And I think Letcher's goal here is to play well, no injury.
Yeah.
Let's fix whatever we need to fix this week. It's not like one of these, like, granted, if you win, it's amazing. I'm not sure if you beat Belfry in a huge emotional high that it's a really great thing moving into Knox.
Going into the playoffs, right. Yeah.
So, I think you go into this game competitively, fix what you need to fix. You've got some things you may want to clean up before the playoffs. Try some things you may want to try before the playoffs to see if they work against a perennial team like Belfry. And then, you roll on from there, keep everybody healthy. Looking forward to the next week, of course, you got Knox, who, if you'll remember, Knox little upset, beat Hazard at their home place. They beat Hazard at Knox in Barberville. They beat Hazard. And so little interesting matchup here with Knox traveling to Letcher for the first round of the playoffs.
Do they have another one in them? Do they have another upset in them?
I don't know. I don't want to call the Knox beating Hazard a fluke, but I don't think Knox
we didn't see it coming.
On paper, probably shouldn't have happened. You talk to Hazard folks, of course. I mean, there's going to be bias, but Not sure that should have happened.
Right.
So
either way, they played with them though. They were at the end with them.
Yeah.
The controversy happened, but they were at the end with them anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if we're picking Knox at Letcher, go for it.
I think Letcher. I think Letcher wins. I think they're hot. I think they're running hot.
I think you going, and again, it's like weird this week. It's like you already got your playoff matchup. You got a home playoff game. You obviously want to beat Belfry, but let's keep everybody healthy. Letcher rolling into that one.
Everybody plays
Healthy. I think they all play. Letcher going in there healthy or at home against Knox. I think it's a big atmosphere. The Letcher faithful are going to come out and cheer on the Cougs. I think Letcher gets it done on the hill against Knox in the first round of the playoffs.
And it's nice they don't have to leave for 2 weeks.
Absolutely. You're at home for 2 weeks. It's really nice. All right. Here's one for you. Kind of in the similar situation as Letcher is Russell, who's 8-1 and played really well all season, goes to Breathitt on the Riverbanks. It's kind of like almost a little bit of the same, not comparing Russell to Belfry, but you got a really good team coming to your place the week before the playoffs in a game in the first round of the playoffs that you should win.
Well, if we were gambling on high school sports,
and we're not.
We're not. Who do you think would be favored in this game?
I honestly think Russell would probably be favored by like 2.5. Well, which there's no field goal. There's no field goals.
No,
really.
but
that's like a 1.5.
It still doesn't matter. The point is there that it seems like Russell. I mean, I think Breathitt's going to beat Russell.
I think so. Too.
I think Breathitt's playing hot. Like,
I think so.
Loving what they're doing.
Miles Holland, Eli Thomas. We keep talking about them. I think I'm gonna try to quit hitting the camera. But I am too. I think, probably you put this down on paper, Russell might be a little bit favored by an edge. But I think that Breathitt on the Riverbanks, and man, they've been smoking hot. I think they win this game. And then the next week, I believe St. Henry's won 1 or 2 games, is at Breathitt. I emphatically take Breathitt.
Breathitt all day.
All day. I expect Coach Kyle Moore. I mean, this is what they do year in and year out. They take the first few weeks, they're figuring things out, and then they figure things out. And I would argue they figured things out sooner this year than they did last year, and I think they make a run in the playoffs.
It's the same situation. If they lost to Russell, it doesn't matter.
Keep everybody healthy. Keep the train moving. You're playing on the Riverbanks the next week. It's a nice little 2-home stint, kind of very similar to Letcher. So I think Breathitt definitely gets it done next week.
Same.
This week might be a little bit of a toss-up, but I'm going to take Breathitt to get it home. All right.
Yeah.
Which moves us on to a really interesting matchup. Is Ridgeview, Virginia, kind of like a traditionally really good team out of Southwest Virginia. Perry is traveling. Some of these Perry matchups has been a little bit of head scratchers. It's like, they had the South Laurel, they had the Corbin.
How far is Ridgeview from Perry?
Ridgeview's about, it's about 45 minutes from, not even that long from here, probably 35 minutes from here. You're probably talking about hour 15 commute, hour and 30 commute from. They're not even coming from up there on 80. They're coming from Combs Road. So, I don't know, hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, it's not terrible. I don't know how good Ridgeview is this year. Traditionally, they're really good, but they're not near as good as they've been in the past. I know that. So,
it's a long trip.
You want to pick that one this real quick?
I'm going to pick Ridgeview. I don't even know anything about them. I'm still going to pick Ridgeview.
I got bit 2 weeks ago taking Perry at Harlan County, and we apologized for that broadcast. Everybody said it kept cutting out, and it was an amazing show, so I hate you.
Well, that sucks. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's
they
awful.
said it. Yeah,
so good. We're so good.
It was so good, and but Mom said she hung tough. So thank you, Mom. I love you. So I'm going to, that beat me then, but I'm going to let it bite me again. I'm going to take Perry.
You can't help it. You can't help it. Can't help it.
And then, unfortunately, in the way that things shook out, Perry is at a really tough, I believe it's 7-win Lincoln, 7 or 8-win Lincoln team at Lincoln. So I'm going to take Lincoln in that one.
I say the president by a bunch.
Okay. Give it to you, old Abe.
Yeah.
And then, if you had to compare the scheduling of, Coach Mark Dixon, what a schedule. Coach Junior Matthews, what a schedule.
Crazy.
Coach Matt Chandler, what a schedule.
Nuts.
Somerset, who's 8-1 on the year, traveling to the Holler. They get this at home. Then next week, you've got a kind of, not struggling, but competitive but not as good Pineville team coming to Hazard, and Hazard being the 2 seed in that district. So I'm going to take Somerset, but then I'm going to take Hazard, the Dogs, at home in the first round of the playoffs.
It smells like a trend, kind of, that this last week is like, let's just play some hard teams this last week and get us ready for the playoffs.
Yep.
And it seems like where we're going all the way down. And Somerset's going to be Hazard. I mean, Somerset, the upset would be impressive, Hazard beating Somerset.
Well, again, though, like, even if after the season that you've kind of worked through for Hazard, it's like you almost at this point, it's do or die in the playoff time. You just want to win the right game.
Yeah, just beat Pineville.
Yeah, just beat Pineville and give yourself a shot to win that second round game of the playoffs. So
they're going to beat Pineville. Also.
You want to obviously compete in this Somerset game, but again, it's like, man, we're just rolling in here trying to keep everybody healthy, fix a few things, get out of the holler alive, and come back to the holler the next week so we can win a playoff game.
It's Harlan.
I said, yeah. Oh, I made it work as a remix.
Yeah, I liked it.
Leslie at Betsy Lane, and probably the struggle.
I apologize for that.
You did that.
My fault.
Leslie at Betsy Lane in an interesting matchup. And now this is a little bit different scenario for Leslie. Because I think if you can find a way to win this game at Betsy Lane, it's almost like you save your season a little bit. And like you maybe even surprise some people. And then you're going into the playoffs at Belfry. So it's like,
how about we try to beat Betsy Lane?
Yeah, this is kind of the flip of these other kind of scenarios we've been working through.
Of course, it's not their fault. They're playing Belfry at Belfry.
I mean, it's terrible. So
it's bad luck.
If I am, if I'm Leslie, I'm going into the Betsy Lane, really trying to win this thing, trying to be competitive. I think you put all the chips in on winning this one because but the goal at Belfry is just to be competitive.
Don't die.
So what are you thinking, Leslie at Betsy Lane? Betsy Lane struggled. They had a great year last year. They've struggled this year.
I think Leslie knows they need to win that game because the Belfry game's coming. So yeah. I see Leslie. I see Leslie winning that game.
Okay. You know what? I shout out to the Leslie County faithful, and I'm going to stick to them. I'm going to stick to them. See this through. I think you got a great coach. You got a great program. You got great leadership there in Leslie County. Let's see this season through. Get this dub. And look forward to next year and trying to keep rebuilding that program. So I'm going to take Leslie at Betsy Lane. I think it's obvious that both of us are going to take Belfry.
It's
wrapping us up.
They're not on a bye?
No, it's not.
No, it's not on a bye.
Knott is on a bye this week. But this one's an interesting one because Knott has had a great season. And they get this little break before the playoffs, and then they go to Shelby Valley. And Valley, that's a really interesting matchup. And you kind of hate the way these districts shook out. It's like, they only lost the Martin and the Prestonsburg, but that put them as the 3 seed in that district. So you got to play an away game. And you're going to Valley, who's like sneaky competitive at 4 and 5.
And I'll go ahead and say it. Playing at Shelby Valley is different than playing at anywhere else.
I agree. Man, that's a tough one. I think, honestly, if we had to circle one game on this matchup list for the first round of the playoffs that I have no idea what's going to happen, it's probably not at Shelby Valley.
I'm picking Shelby Valley. I think Shelby Valley. I think Shelby Valley at home. Shelby Valley can do some stuff. Just saying.
Better turn that on air sign off. I'm going to, man, wouldn't this be great to cover this next week? Next week. Knott is going to be coming off a bye. They're going to be rested up and ready. They've got Bryson Everidge. They've got Shane Gibson. They got good enough quarter play. They got Chance. Shelby Valley is just so sneaky, and at Shelby Valley, I think this is where me and you let's do this. If I pick Knott and not beat Shelby Valley, can that be worth like 3 games?
Sure, 3 points. 3-point game. 3-point game. I'm gonna score all the other ones.
All right, I'm going to take Connaught. No, it's not. I'm going to take Knott, and it's going to be worth 3.
It's not a
so
good choice.
Knott, Pats, come through.
Anyway, it could literally go either way. It could go either way. Don't.
I'd throw this. My daughter's asleep in there. I'm going to take Knott, and it's worth 3. And if Knott wins, we tie on the year.
It's your show.
Thank you. All right. This is special. Jeremiah, you don't have to put anything up. But I just wanted to have a little fun with Heavy D here as we wrap up the regular season. We've talked about so many great players throughout the year. And I do want to say it's been a fun season.
Had a great time. We had a great time.
We ate at the sketchiest Mexican in the world.
Dude, how good was it?
It was
How
great.
good was it? It was the best Mexican food.
On the
It was so
road
good.
in Harlan County.
Oh, we almost died in Harlan County. No
we
joke.
ate at Hazard Applebee's.
No joke. Harlan County. Shout out Harlan County Saison. No, that food slapped. It
That
slapped.
restaurant, sketchy.
Winston's wife thought she was gonna die.
Didn't use the bathroom. You refused. I think she peed outside.
It was not unclean, by the way. I don't want to say it was. The place was nice. Like it was not like. I mean, it's just it was in a place.
Yeah, I mean, please don't.
God, the food
Come
wrong.
kill us.
She had that pizza.
She did, right? So, thanks to our production team, thanks to Josh, thanks to HT24, 40 years. And wrapping up the show tonight, I want to give Heavy D the chance to pick a couple of these names, just one. I'm going to challenge you. We've got a list of potential potties, the player of the year, as given by BTW. I think I'll get Josh to make you up. Josh makes these nice little player of the game cards.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah.
They're great. And I think maybe we're going to get you, me and Heavy D picture in the background and we're like smiling and you're going to be like in the middle. I think he can do that. And we're going to get you like a card.
Who are you talking to?
Whoever wins this POI award. And they're not going to watch this, but nobody's watching this. So Josh, you don't have to do that.
Nobody's watching this right now, literally.
You're right.
Just us.
Literally. It's
Yeah,
just
literally just us. This might not ever get aired, actually. So
It's possible. So, I'm going to spit at you these names.
Okay.
And stop me if you need to. And work through this in your mind.
we're here.
First on our nominees for BT Dub Player of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Gunnar Holbrook. 26 total touchdowns so far. We're not done with the regular season. We got a game left. 1,800 total yards plus. And we're not done yet. I would imagine he will have 30 plus touchdowns on the year when this is done, after, especially considering playoff play and over 2,000 yards total. So, but we can't look forward to the future. Let's just take it for what it is here on paper.
Going back.
Your next nominee of the Letcher Central Cougars also, Garrett Howard.
Crazy.
18 touchdowns on the year, 955 rush yards, a handful of catching yards, a touchdown catching, which is included in those 18 touchdowns, and 110 tackles.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Next on our nominees, also a crazy stat, Bryson Everidge. 147 tackles on the year, representing the Knott County Central Pats.
So much.
You would imagine he's going to get over 150 in this last week. Not in 1 week, but he'll get over 3. Then, of course, from Hazard, representing the Dogs, Murph Shoptall, 2,000 plus yards passing. I believe he has 14 touchdowns through the air. A great quality, a handful of touchdowns, I guess, on the ground. Great year from a sophomore quarterback, Mr. Murph Shoptall.
So good. It's going to be so good.
And of course, we mentioned his receiving core and Gavin Johnson, who has 700 plus yards on the year and over 80 tackles on the year. We talk about him going both ways, several interceptions on the year. Gavin Johnson, great year, both offensively and defensively, and showing out as an athlete for the Dogs. Next, the name we mentioned earlier, representing the Breathitt County Bobcats, Miles Holland, who I would say is in the coverage area the most improved player for our local coverage area, and 1,500 plus yards through the air and 21 touchdowns total on the year.
21 touchdowns. That's a lot of teddies.
And I will say, in looking at those on paper, Miles, your completion percentage, good. You've had a great year. Good. And then, of course, wrapping up our player of the years, and I don't want to mean to cause controversy with this list. I'm just random. I mean, I literally did this in 5 minutes. Eli Thomas of the Bobcats, who I've said every week, big time rusher, 1,400 total yards on the year. He's had nearly 300 catching. He's had 1,100 rushing. He's got 21 touchdowns so far on the year. You guarantee that's going to be more as they work through the KHSAA playoffs. And ladies and gentlemen, those are your 8 nominees for Heavy D's BT Dub Player of the Year.
You want to pick the winner?
Bro, I'll be like Steve Harvey. I'll mess this up. Okay. I gotta let you say it.
Ain't that crazy?
I agree.
So
wait, drum roll. Wait, you talk about it for a minute.
The player of the year, right, is going to be someone who is so valuable to their team that they can't lose them, and that award goes to Garrett Howard. It's just the stats are too crazy. The kids on this list, everybody done amazing. Everybody's been insane this year. Stats are insane, but on both sides of the ball, never coming out of the game, it's crazy how exhausted that kid has to be. 18 offensive touchdowns. He's going to end with 20 touchdowns, probably 1,000 rushing yards or more, probably 120 or 130 tackles at least. At least. Those are going to be at least stats.
We've timed this up perfect. Congratulations, Garrett Howard. You are our not-so-formal BT Dub POTY potty. We're going to go potty. We hope you go potty.
Let's go.
Welcome to the...
At least. Those are going to be at least stats.
We've timed this up perfect. Congratulations, Garrett Howard. You are our not-so-formal BT Dub POTY potty. We're going to go potty. We hope you go potty here and stay in tune to watch the boys upstairs bring you Belfry at Letcher Central. It's been an amazing year, man. What a run. We get Players of the Year for HT24, right?
Player of the Year, baby.
Hey, we love you guys, man. We'll see you next year. Stay tuned. The great thing is most of these guys on this list will be back next year. We will be too.
Oh, yeah.
Later. BT Dub, we love you.
This is News 12.
Since 1985, Hometown 24 has been serving this community with local programming produced by local people.
20th one hour out. He's got a man out here. Linden caught it to 45.
Using the latest video technology to bring you the news, sports, and local events that matter to you.
First on your Hometown News tonight.
I'm Harold Mullins, and thanks for joining us.
40 years is a long time in Eastern Kentucky. Here's to 40 more.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
My name is Emily, and I'm from Laurel County. When I was searching for a college, I wanted to find a place that felt like home and where I could make a difference. The moment I stepped on Alice Lloyd's campus, I knew this was where I belonged. There's a sense of community here and a focus on serving others that you can't find at other colleges. For me, it wasn't just about continuing education. It was about being a part of something bigger. Apply now to find your home at alc.edu.
It's fall, y'all, and are you ready to fall into some incredible savings with the region's best network, Appalachian Wireless? Come shop the latest devices at prices you'll love and see how our team can better serve you with plans and promotions that are made just for you. Whether you're upgrading, switching, or just looking for the best service, Appalachian Wireless has you covered. So what are you waiting for? Visit us on the web or stop by one of our many retail locations and take advantage of these amazing fall deals. Because we are you, we are Appalachian Wireless.
You need open heart surgery, words no one wants to hear. But when it becomes your reality, you deserve care built on trust. At Hazard ARH, open heart surgery is performed by Dr. James Shoptaw, a cardiothoracic and vascular surgeon with over 29 years of experience. With skilled hands, strong faith, and proven results, Dr. Shoptaw and his team are with you every step of the way. Trust your heart to ARH and Dr. Shoptaw, a proud member of the ARH Care Network. ARH, more for Appalachia.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
Welcome to the Bank of Hyman football game of the week, Friday nights on Trick or Treat night, Halloween, and thank you for tuning in on Hometown 24. Manus Blair with Jim Bob McCauley. Letcher Central hosting Belfry. Letcher Central 6-3 on the season. Belfry 8-1. Senior night for Letcher County Central. Teams getting ready for the upcoming first round of the KHSAA football season coming up, so it's a tune-up. Jim, there's been a lot of times when we have exhibited last game of the year, and what are you trying to – are you fine-tuning? What's going on here in your last game before the postseason begins?
Well, from a coach's standpoint, both teams, you want to be – this is not – I don't want to say ever a tune-up. This is where you are trying to hone it and get everything clicking 100% as you head into the playoffs. This is where, the last good film session. And now, since they went in the early 2000s to the 4-team playoff, right. Usually that first-round game traditionally is not a great game. You see that 1-4 game usually.
And, some have absolutely just said we're not playing.
Well, and I don't blame them. Yeah. I've seen times that, when they went to this class system, that a team could be 0-10 and make the playoffs and have to travel to Belfry or a Johnson Central. And, wow, what a treat that is. So, you really want both teams, Belfry, number 1 seed in their district, Letcher Central, the 2 seed in their district, looking to both host games next week. But this is probably – almost a playoff-style game as you head into the playoffs here.
And probably one of the better games. When you look at the schedule, it's one of the better games going on. You've got Russell at Breathitt County, and you've got Somerset at Hazard. And, this game goes right along with those other two. And, the thing about it is Letcher Central will host Knox Central here next Friday. And then Belfry, of course, will host Leslie County. And when you're looking at these two particular teams, and it's almost like definitely not a mirror image of each other.
A contradiction.
It's very much a contradiction.
You look at the and Belfry is Belfry. And it kind of,
but not completely.
No, they've got a chance tonight to have a 1,000-yard passer this year. But the thing that really struck me is the last time I was here with Belfry, I was the AD, and I spent probably 45 minutes before the game talking to Coach Haywood. Right. And after the game, he came in the office, and I just wanted to kind of reflect on that a little bit, Manus, because they don't make them like that.
No.
And you were kind enough to share his books with me and reflect on the philosophy. When I talked to Coach Haywood, he never talked about football.
No.
And it was always about life, politics, the people of Appalachia. And, so I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. Really miss him.
Yeah,
and the mountains miss him.
The mountain football and the state of Kentucky misses him. And when I got a chance to interview Coach Haywood, it was like a bucket list check.
Yeah,
and he's just such a humble Christian man, and they don't make him like that. They don't make him like that, and he cannot be replaced. But Coach Varney
has done a wonderful
has
job.
done an outstanding job and doing so.
So getting back to the game, we talked about the contradiction of styles. Gunnar Holbrook, one of the top passers in the Eastern Kentucky region for Letcher Central, going to throw the ball a lot. They throw the ball about 60% of the time. On the other side with Belfry, we know what Belfry brings. They bring that wonderful belly offense, and they'll run a lot of the dives and powers and lull you to sleep and then hit you with the home run. And
saw a lot of that on film more so than in the past, but Barney's very accurate, very accurate in throwing the football. And like you said, with 135 yards tonight, he's going to throw for 1,000 yards for Belfry. And, of course, you mentioned Gunnar Holbrook, and, a gunslinger.
Yeah.
And
he's improved every game that I've watched him play over the last 3 years. Really
seeing the field better.
Yeah, and his composure in the pocket's better. Does a lot of good things for the Cougars. But it's so hard. I've coached against this Belfry team, and you pretty much have to sell out and play assignment defense to stop that read option and the dive that they run. And when you bring everybody up, Barney, unlike a lot of quarterbacks they've had in the past, can back it up and hit you with the tight end down the seam, and it can really hurt you. So you've got to make sure your safety keeps his head on a swivel and watches for that seam route that comes off that belly read.
And, they've got three runners that's, very athletic and do their job. You've got Ace Cottle, and you've got Dante Davis and J.B. Woolham, and those guys, 24 touchdowns between the three of them. But at the same token, when you look at their wide receivers, they got 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, like you're saying, they lull you to sleep, and then they throw the ball down the numbers, or they throw the fly patterns down the field. And you've got Caden Varney with 7 touchdowns, 34.5 yards per catch.
And that lets you know exactly what they're doing. When you run the ball and you run the ball and you run the ball. And as a defensive coordinator, we got to bring an extra guy in the box.
Right.
And, they're up top and they're looking. They go, hey, guys, he's up there. Let's just put it in and pull it out and throw it down the seam. And so it's a high percentage passing plays that the Belfry runs.
So let's look at the defense of Letcher Central. And you mentioned about assignment football. If you haven't seen something like this, how can you as a coach be ready for such a triple threat option team as Belfry?
Well, you really can't. I mean, you can try to simulate it in practice and simulate it in practice. But, these guys over here, they run this from 6th grade on. Mm-hmm. And they know their reads. They do everything the right way. So you've really just got to stress, you've got to stay home on defense. You've got to read your keys, and you cannot pursue the ball. Because what I say about pursue the ball, you see the ball go out wide, you start flowing out, and the next thing you know, it's a fullback dive for 50 yards up the middle.
Right.
So you've got to stay home, especially your inside linebackers and your ends. They've got to stay home.
So Letcher Central, let's talk about Letcher Central a little bit. Offensively, they've not struggled.
No,
they've
not put up points
at all.
Pretty much all year long.
You got 44 points a game.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, and they lost Jed Outlaw to the injury a couple weeks ago. That really kind of hurt them. But then, they've had some players that have really stepped up. Mason Stevens has become, Gunner's number one target.
Right.
Colton Stidham, very reliable out of the slot position. And then you'll look at Thaden Brown has been, Thaden Ramsey has really, taken into became a much more viable threat, good speed, and can get down the field, much like his brother did.
Yeah, and, we talked about touchdowns, and when you look at the wide receiver core of Letcher Central, 17 touchdowns. Of course, Gunnar Holbrook's thrown for 25 touchdowns and just 4 interceptions. Yeah. So, like you said, he's done a composure and not putting it in a tight window has enabled him not to throw any kind of interceptions up to this point.
And, the emergence of Garrett Howard in that power running game, too. Yeah. Last couple of games, he's had some huge games on the ground, averaging 120, 130 yards a game the last couple of games. So, really, I think for the Cougars to have a chance tonight, because, they are the underdog.
Yes, they are.
They've got to establish somewhat of that inside running game to take the pressure off of Belfry just pinning their ears back and getting after Holbrook.
Yeah, and, I guess we need to go over the Tim Short Auto Group keys of the game. And when we've talked about several of them here, but in order for Letcher Central to win this football game, what is the main key that you think will enable them to do that?
Well, I mean, for one, you've got to take advantage of every possession on offense because a Belfry team will eat the clock, score. You come out and you go 3 and out, guys, it's second quarter. And
right.
So, they've got to take advantage of their offensive possessions, and they've got to be able to, they've got to score. And, they can't turn the ball over.
And on the other hand, Belfry. What do they need to do in order to win the football game?
Well, I think exactly what we hit on, methodical and establish the running game and take advantage of, the Cougars trying to come up and stop the running game and looking for that seam pass down the middle. So I think it's just going to be a really fun game to watch because of such a contradictions that these teams offer.
And, when you're just looking at contradictions and things, of course, Holbrook has thrown the ball 192 times. Of course, I'm not sure if Belfry has seen someone throw that many times. They only get, on the defensive side, they're only giving up 44 yards a game passing. So we've talked about contradictions and
12 interceptions.
But that's what I looked at. When I seen that, they don't give much up. And then you've got the main guys like Varney with 3 interceptions, Eli Cottle with 4 interceptions, Woolham with 3 interceptions, and that's part of that cover 3 in that deep area. And they can go get it.
Yeah.
They can go get it. So Holbrook, if he puts it in that tight window, he's got to put a little zip on it, or he's got to lay it over the top of the linebackers, and they've got a good core of linebackers as well.
Oh, yeah. I think that, the Cougars, their passing game needs to be an extension of the run game tonight. Throw the quick, short passes. We saw we watched against a Martin County team that did a lot of things similar with that big, deep cover 3 and speed at that safety position. So you've got to attack it in the flats, early in the middle of the field, right behind the linebackers or in front of the linebackers, and give Holbrook time to be able to set his feet and make a quick throw.
I told Bull the wrong thing. Belfry, I don't know if Letcher Central deferred or whatever. I was kind of looking back and forth, but it will be Belfry kicking off. And, a weapon for Belfry is Nick Savage, the senior place kicker. Has a nice leg, Jim, and I've seen him several times kick it deep. And speaking of deep, it looks like for Letcher Central, it looks like I believe
Stidham
that is Stidham. It should be. Normally Stidham is the one that returns it.
Yeah, Stidham
on the
and
far
Thaden,
side.
Yeah, Thaden Brown over here on the near side.
And that is Speedy Brown's likewise. And that's going to be a kickoff, and it's going to go to Stidham and Friday Night Lights when we begin. And he's going to be hit right there at the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. Cougars on the 22.
Yeah, great coverage by the Belfry team. They came down and those special teams players busted that wall up quickly.
Trying to pick a lane instead of just blasting it up in there, which you'd probably been better off. Just blast that what you can.
And it will be Luke Young who will be the center for Gunnar Holbrook. He's split with each side. It'll be Sturgill and Howard, looks like, on each side. And it's going to be a handoff, and it's going to be some room for Stidham, and he's going to go down to the
nice run
41-yard line. Sturgill, did I say Stidham?
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you.
Great lead block right there, and he squirted through right off guard and popped that one for about 19 yards.
Yeah, 19 yards. And thank you once again for tuning us in here on Hometown 24, and we're off.
So, and it's almost one of those things we say all the time, in the trenches. In the trenches. And
I know people get tired of hearing that, but that's the truth. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line, same formation for Letcher Central. 3 linemen up front for Belfry. He's going to be handed off to Howard, and he's got a little bit of room, and he's going to pick up about 5, Jim.
Yeah, right now, they kind of spread Belfry's defense out wide and coming out and, establishing the running game with 2 nice positive gains right off the bat.
So it'll be 2nd down and 5 on the 46-yard line for Letcher Central. And Belfry's not a very big up front. Polly, number 56, is on the nose is pretty big, but the rest of the guys not really big. Same formation. No, they've changed formation. Howard is going to go in motion, and he's going to be a handoff. Nope, it's not going to be a handoff. It's going to be a throw out to Stidham, and he's going to pick up the first.
Very well-designed play on the play action right there.
1st and 10, Cougars.
And that's what we were talking about, the quick pass, just an extension of the run, the 5-6-yard little hitch routes, and getting in a window and making a play.
Letcher Central with a good rhythm so far, set up by the running game.
So, Letcher Central looking really sharp on this opening offensive series.
Yep. 1st and 10 on the 48.5-yard line.
And you'll look at here how wide that the Letcher Central guys are split out.
And
really
that's
dragging
on the wide side here. And it's going to be a handoff, and that's Stidham.
It's Sturgill
again.
Yeah, he's going to get 5 right there.
Colton, I've said Colton's name so much that I do apologize. I'll get it going. 2nd down and 6 now. And Howard will go off as looking for the call will be Holbrook. And, not really a lot of speed up right now in tempo. So waiting on the call as it comes from
well, that's what we talked
staff.
about, Letcher Central, having to have possessions that take the time because, Belfry's going to. That's their MO. But one thing I like about Letcher Central, their offensive plays are really straight-ahead plays right now.
Yep. Got trips down to the wide side. Motion goes out. Sturgis going to be I thought they were setting it up for a hook and ladder, but he's going to get down to about the 40-yard line. And that was Stidham.
Yeah, and it was a really well-designed play. They faked the wide screen and came back inside to Stidham on a little jailhouse break inside. And he had a couple of hands on him, but he kept his feet going and picked up a nice 5-yard gain.
And it'll be about 3 and 2.5, maybe 2 yard.
Very manageable 3rd and 2 right here. And you're probably in 4-down territory from here on out anyway.
Howard to the left, Stevens to the short side here. Stidham goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Howard, and he's going to be cut down right there at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, great form tackle by 64 of Belfry.
And, that made big man's hard to get cut down.
Yeah, and there was nothing right there. He hit him and made a great form tackle.
So it's actually a loss of a half of a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th down now and 3.
Yeah, big play for the Cougars early.
As we get down to the 8.5-minute mark in the first quarter, thank you for joining us. Once again, Howard to the left of Holbrook. He's going to look to the sideline.
Yeah, plenty of time on the play clock as they look and change the play.
And they're going to give it to Howard, and
he's going to get it in more.
He's going to keep bulling, and he's finally stopped right there at the 34-yard line. So 1st and 10, Cougars.
Yeah, a really strong run from Howard. And we alluded to that early, getting Howard going. He's a big, strong kid, lives in the weight room, and did a great job getting past initial contact and picking up about 6 more from that.
34-yard line, 1st and 10.
And you see Belfry defense, they're not really playing their traditional cover 3. They're playing fourths right now. And, giving a little room up there. But you see now starting to creep up a little closer.
Howard to the right. He's going to step back. Here comes the blitz up the middle, and it's going to be overthrown to Brown, and that's going to be a flag.
Yeah, they're going to call targeting right there. It was a head-to-head contact on a defenseless receiver.
And that was on Eli Caudle, who was in coverage as the ball sailed over Brown's head. And so
that's going to give him 15.
That's going to be a 1st down.
So, with the aid of a penalty, Cougars move into the red zone.
And they'll mark it off. And that's going to push the ball all the way down to should be down to the 19. And it is, and that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Belfry bringing the blitz the last time.
Yeah, the receiver was open. Holbrook a little under duress and threw the ball high right there, but the end result was good for the Cougars.
Sturgill to the right of Holbrook. Young with a snap. It's going to go to him, and he's going to be cut down right there by Chafin. Nice tackle by Chafin.
And he just came from the safety position and stunned it all the way up and just, hit that one perfect right there.
And Chafin, the leading tackler for Belfry, he has 84 tackles on the season.
Yeah, he really, he just, found a hole just like a running back and came through the offensive line and cut Sturgill down, about 3 yards shy of the line of scrimmage.
Once again, we got trips to the short side of the field. Sturgill to the left of Holbrook. Young with a snap. He's going to step back. No pressure on him, and it's going to be Stevens with a catch.
Yeah.
Right at the 14, so that's going to be a gain of 5. And that will put it right on the 14-yard line, 3rd down.
Yeah, great play design right there to that trips. And they pushed everybody back, and Stevens just kind of curled underneath the trips and a little clear out for him and picked up a nice gainer. Yeah, actually gained about 7 on that play, man.
Actually, they gave him a little bit a better spot than I thought. Got Stevens to the short side, Stidham in motion. Going to be fake it. He's going to throw to Stidham, and it's through his hands, and it will be 4th down for the Cougars.
He's done another very well-designed play right there, just off a little play action and leaked Stidham out into the little hole in the zone right there, and Stidham couldn't come down with it. Would have been really close to a 1st down.
Holbrook over to get the call from the offensive staff. Belfry, let's see what Belfry dials up on the defensive side.
Now, don't be surprised to see him bring a little pressure up the middle again right here.
Don't have a lot of size, but once again, a lot of athleticism on that Belfry defense. Sturgill to the left. Holbrook's going to take it back. Blitz up the middle, and it's going to get knocked away.
He dropped it, yeah.
And there's no flags on the play, and that'll be a turnover on downs, and it'll be Belfry football, 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line.
Yeah, it was another nice play on a little crossing route. Receiver, just kind of went through his hands right there. I believe it would have been short of the 1st down.
Yeah, I believe it would have been too, and it was good coverage by Belfry.
Yeah, you said this, Belfry usually a big team, but, you look for a lot more athletic bodies out there for this Belfry team. And I've not had a chance, really, besides on film, to watch them play this year.
Now, their offensive line a little bit bigger than their defensive line. They got the big hogs up front. Varney's going to take the ball, and he'll give it off to, looks like that's going to be number 11 for them. That's J.B. Woolham.
Yeah, and just that typical double wing tight set that Belfry's so famous for. And, they pulled their backside guard and tackle right there. And Cougars really came up and, gain of, 4.5?
4.5 yards, looks like. So it'll be 2nd down. Let's say 5. And it's going to be straight handoff on the dive, and that's going to be, I believe that's Caudle that had the football. Nope, excuse me, that's not Caudle with the football, and it's going to be a 1st down for Belfry. And that's number 5, Dante Davis.
Yeah, and you see how hard the Belfry runners, out of this offensive set, when they hit the hole, they're really going. So, if you don't get a hand on them, you better wrap it.
You better. And it's not a 1st down. It's going to be 3rd and short for Belfry. Varney under center, and he's going to hand it off on the dive, and it's going to be 1st down. And that was given to, let's see, that I believe once again that was Davis, and it is, and that's 1st down for the Pirates.
And that time they went overload to the left side. They brought one of their tackles over, and so they had a guard tackle on the weak side and got behind that. And but here we see the very unusual Belfry lineup as they're in the spread.
And with tempo getting out of the huddle, and it's going to be, that's to Woolham, and he's got the edge here. And he's going to be pulled down by Stidham out of bounds at the 40. Let's give him the 45-yard line.
Yeah, nice jet sweep out there, and you see Woolham's got some good wheels.
And that's going to be about a 16-yard gain.
Yeah, that was like a sweep.
So it's going to be, instead of the 45, they're going to mark it at the 46, 1st down Pirates. Been doing so much volleyball, I almost threw some volleyball stuff out there in the gym.
That goes as passing yardage.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. And that's going to be a handoff, and that's to Davis, and he's got down the middle, 40, 35, 30, 20. He's going to be ran down, and he's going to be knocked down at the 9-yard line. Yes, the 9-yard line, 1st and 10.
And once again, they kind of, spread out a little bit, but it was that dive. And, once you widen out as a linebacker, if you miss a play right there, you see big game for the Belfry Pirates.
Osborne able to finally get to him and knock him down. 1st and goal. Davis directly behind Barney, and he'll take the handoff again, and he'll move down to about the 2-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and goal for Belfry.
Belfry, in these short yardage situations, as much meat as they've got up on that front line, really hard to stop a surge for 2 yards.
A heavy dose of Davis so far for the Pirates. Barney looking over, getting everybody set. Once again, it's going to go to Davis. He stopped a little bit short. Did he turn and get in?
I don't think he did.
Oh, they're going to mark him short.
We look over here at the monitor, and he was about a football short across in the end zone.
Nice camera work down there by Brady. So it's going to be 3rd and goal.
And this is kind of, Belfry at 3rd down. They may try to boot, but I would imagine you'll see something right up the middle right here.
Once again, Davis directly behind Varney. He'll take the snap, and it's going to be going in, and that's Woolham who's going to have the 1-yard touchdown run for Belfry.
We call that we used to run out of that double wing. We call that a popcorn motion play. Mm-hmm. And, the runner's got the option to either, go up in the hole or bounce it outside. And that time, he got stepped to the right. And what it causes the defense to do is flow out and create those inside holes to where he gets to plant his foot and get up in the end zone.
Nick Savage will come in to do the PAT, 48 of 51 on the season. Eli Cottle with the hold. And it's up, and it is good. And Belfry will go ahead 7-0 here with 3:54 in the first quarter. And we'll take a timeout. Stay with us on Hometown 24.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
Welcome back to the campus of Letcher County Central as Belfry goes in for the score, and that was J.B. Woolham. And on the 1-yard touchdown run, extra point by Savage. And at the 3:54 mark, Pirates are ahead 7-0. Nick Savage teeing the ball up to kick it.
Well, he has a great leg. We watched on that extra point. It would have been good from 40.
Yeah, I've watched him 2 or 3 times, and he can really hit that ball. Back for the Cougars once again will be Brown and Stidham. Thank you for joining us here on Hometown 24. And once again, it's going to go to Stidham right at the 15-yard line, and he's going to bring it up the middle. But there's going to be he gets away, and he's going to be stopped right about the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 Cougars. Thank you for joining us, Ryan Former. Yeah, my voice is about gone from volleyball, but I survived. I did. Thank you for tuning in, Ryan.
He came up to the wedge a little quicker.
Harold Kraft tuning in. Kern Smith, Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson and David Adams doing the Hazard Somerset game down at the Holler down at Daniel Field tonight.
Should be a
Heroes
great game.
and Icons. I expect it to be. Of course, Coach Chandler worked under Clevenger at Danville, and I think we've got a penalty. No flag, and it's going to be knocked down. And that time, that was Hilton, I believe.
Yeah, then, the defensive end came off and got his hands up, and luckily the ball went to the ground when he smacked it, or that could have been a pick six pretty easy.
And it was Hilton. So he got into the passing lane and knocked it down. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Young snaps it back to Holbrook. No pressure. He's going to step up, and he's going to throw it over the top and almost.
Yeah, and that would have been a big gainer right there for the Cougars if he could have connected. And Sturgill did break open out there. I thought Holbrook was going to run the ball. Linebackers would drop back in
when he stepped up, I thought he had a little bit of room. Deskins on the coverage for Belfry.
Now, here's the danger zone for the Cougars. We talked about you cannot afford to go 3 and out against this Belfry team. You've got to take advantage of each possession. Even though there were no points in the first possession, they ate up a lot of clock and drove it down. So really need to convert on this 3rd and 10. And Belfry has really been blitzing on these passing situations.
Stidham in motion goes back. And it's going to be thrown out here to Stevens, and he's not going to get anything on that.
Yeah, maybe 3.
As he was taken down by Caden Varney. Do you dare? No, you don't dare.
No, you got to punt it away right
they're
here.
going to give him maybe 4 that time, so it'll be 4th and 6, and Letcher Central will punt the football. And right here, you've got to be careful with Eli Cottle back for Belfry.
It's a punt away situation. You've got to work the ball over way to the right side of the field away from him.
And it's going to be angled that way, and it's going to go straight to Cottle. Cottle's going to take it up the middle, and he's going to be hit right there by Howard. And they're going to hold him right there at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, initial contact by Howard, big hit right there. But let me tell you, he didn't go down with that.
No, he's very diminutive, but
I like it when you use those 4-syllable words.
Well, sometimes I do look them up in Webster's dictionary to see if they are actually words. Ball will be spotted on the 42-yard line, 1st and 10. You have Cottle and you have Varney down here. Cottle goes into motion. He's looking, throws it out to Cottle. Nobody out there with him. He's going to go 30, 25, and out.
Be a face mask right there.
Going to be an add-on to that. So, in other words, a 19-yard gain, and then you're going to have more added on to it.
Yep. And, the defense for the Cougars secondary covered all the deep routes well, but off of the jet motion, he opened up over in the flats, and there wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him.
So we're going to get the official call right here.
A big shout-out to my man Fuzz Johnson tuning in tonight. Didn't bring Winston by to trick-or-treat, so I'm a little upset at him.
And it is a face mask, and that's going to add on to it. Want to thank Hyman ProMart for their sponsorship of the flags, and that's going to be that is the first flag, isn't it, of the game? Or did we have another one?
No, we had a
yes, we did. That's exactly right. Short-term memory.
So really interesting to see Belfry in this spread like this.
And once again, it's going to go to Woolham. Woolham's got the edge, turns back inside, and he's going to go in on the pass, and that's going to be a 15-yard touchdown pass to Woolham from Varney.
And, what a great job of the perimeter offensive players for Belfry maintaining those blocks. And I've said it many times, the hardest blocks are those open field blocks. Those receivers did a great job blocking on the secondary of the Cougars, allowing him to get around into the end zone.
So Savage will come back out to try the extra point again. Cottle to hold. 13-0 with 3:06 to go. And it's down and up, and it is good, and that will make it 14-0, 3:06 to go, and we'll be back in 30 seconds here on Hometown 24.
No one likes an uninvited guest, especially when that guest is a potentially dangerous pest. So call Bluegrass Pest Management and let the pros take care of your problem. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, providing much-needed jobs to local people. With 3 locations in Hazard, London, and Hindman, they treat rats, mice, roaches, bed bugs, termites, and many more. Open Monday through Friday and now servicing all of Kentucky. Say goodbye to your uninvited guests today. Call Bluegrass Pest Management.
Welcome back to the Bank of Hyman football game of the week. Belfry with a 15-yard touchdown pass and the extra point to put the Pirates up 14-0 with 3:06 to go here in the first quarter.
And, when you're watching this at home and you see that jet sweep and you think, hey, that's not a pass. Well, it is. It's a flip forward. And
I
the good thing about
pass,
it,
didn't I?
Yeah, it is. You did. And the good thing about it, if you're the quarterback and there's a bugaloo between him and the running back, it's an incomplete pass.
Right.
So, it's a safe play, but it's also a great way to get that quarterback some nice passing yards.
It's the old version of the Lee Gross Cup shovel pass. And Savage with a kick. Once again, it's going to go to Stidham right there on the 10-yard line. He turns 15, 20. He's going to be hit, and he's going to be brought down on the 24-yard line.
Special teams for the Belfry Pirates, between the kickers getting the ball up. We don't see that a lot in the mountains. He's getting the ball up in the air to allow that coverage team to get down and really doing a good job keeping the Cougars pinned back.
Definitely not a line drive kick. So let's see what the Cougars and – I don't want to say a dire need, but I think right now they've got to have something going on, if nothing else, just to flip the field position.
Yeah.
Howard to the right of Holbrook, bunch formation to the upside, and it's going to go to Howard, and he's not going to get anything there. He's stopped right in the middle of the line.
Yeah, a lot of penetration up front from that defensive line for Belfry, and really nowhere to go for Howard.
And, when you're looking at Pauly was right there, the nose tackle was right on the play. I thought there was no game, but I'm incorrect. They're going to give him a gain of 2.
But I do like the fact the Cougars come back out. They had a lot of success running the ball in the first drive.
Go back.
Second drive, it was 3 passes and out. So
got split backfield with Howard to the right, Sturgill to the left. And it's going to be a handoff Sturgill. And nice spin. But he's going to be hit right there, and that was going to be Varney.
It looked like he was gained about 8, and in reality, he picked up 3.5.
Muncie
and they're giving
Varney.
him a lot more than I thought.
Yeah. Well, we're still at this angle, and I've missed twice now.
Hey, big shout out to the original Jim McCauley tuning in from Conan, Kentucky, watching. Not bragging on Manus Blair's smooth and silky voice.
Yeah. 32. I don't know about smooth, but 32-yard line, and it's going to be a big third down play right here for Letcher Central, 3rd and 3.
That was a nice spin on Sturgill.
Same formation. You got Stevens down here to the short side. Holbrook's going to take the snap from Young, going to give it to Howard. He's hitting the backfield, and he's not going to get there.
Oh, he's going to lose.
He's going to lose at least 7 yards, and that will force the Cougars to punt.
Yeah, and you see Belfry, the first series, the Cougars able to open up some holes there, but now they're slanting so hard. It's like they kind of got an idea where the ball's going. A lot of times, if you think the back is going in a certain direction in that shotgun 2-back set, you'll slant to that side. And they did that time and came right through and cut Howard down for a big loss.
So we're down to clock's running, and we're under 1 minute here in the first quarter. Eli Cottle on his 49-yard line for the Pirates. And there's going to be the punt, and it's going to be a topper, and it's going to bounce, and Cottle's going to pick it up right at the 50.
Oh, boy, he's got room.
He's got room, and if he gets a block right here, he may be gone. And nice job over there.
Yeah, I couldn't pick up the number there.
Stidham did a nice job of holding him up right there. He might have went to the house, and he's going to go all the way to the 30. So it was a punt return of 21 yards. And it'll be first down right on the 30-yard line. They put it on the 30. So 1st and 10, Belfry with 27 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and Belfry, once again, the recipient of great field position.
Excellent field position. You've got Varney and you've got Cottle to the wide side, and they're going to be drawn off, and that's going to be 5 yards against the Cougars, so it'll be 1st and 5.
Yeah, they come up that time in the pistol formation and just a hard cadence on that, and looked like the defensive line for Letcher Central just kind of surged forward into the neutral zone.
Shout out to my former coaching buddy Terry Howard watching the game, and that's going to be the dive for Davis. He cuts back behind Cottle, 10-5, and he's going to go in, touchdown. And that's going to be a 25-yard run for Dante Davis, and that's going to put the Pirates up 20-0.
Yeah, nothing fancy right there. They lined up in the double wing and just ran off the right side and collapsed the defensive line for Letcher Central, and really virtually untouched until he was 20 yards down the field.
He turned right back off the backside of Cottle's block on the wide side, and pay dirt he went to. Savage will once again come in to attempt the point after. And, of course, it will be once again Cottle holding. And the ball's down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. So after the kick, it would be 21 Belfry, 0 Letcher Central with 19 seconds to go in the first quarter. And we'll take a break, and we'll be right back in 30 seconds on Hometown 24.
Since 1962, Citizens Bank and Trust of Jackson has been proud to serve the community. They care about the people of Breathitt County and are the only locally owned bank in the community. With 2 branches in Jackson and 1 in Beattyville, they're never too far away when you need them. And with the latest innovations in banking, keeping track of your finances has never been easier. Helping to grow Breathitt County as leaders for over 60 years. That's Citizens Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to the campus of Letcher County Central. Dante Davis with a 25-yard run, and the extra point was good. 21-0 Belfry with 19 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and is it almost desperate?
Colton Stidham's had more receptions off of kickoff so far tonight than anybody else.
Letcher Central got to get a little bit better field position here, but like you said the last time, nice job by Belfry and their special teams staying in their lanes.
Yeah, once again, just a high kick to Stidham.
And once again, he takes it on the 12, and he's got a gap. He's got 40. He cuts back behind the block, and he barely caught him by the ankle. Gets to the 48-yard line for a 40-yard punt return, and that's what the doctor ordered for the Letcher County Central Cougars. And
Stidham that time, there was no hesitation. He caught the ball and just directly got upfield and found a lane and got into it. A couple of times previously, he's kind of stutter-stepped a little bit and allowed the special teams for Belfry to hem him up pretty quick.
Osborne with a nice block there to allow him to get that many yards, and it's going to be really good field position. 48-yard lines where they mark it. Holbrook's going to roll the right, looking back. He's got a little room, but there is Robinette to hit him, and that's going to be a gain of 3, positive yardage for Letcher Central.
And not a bad decision at all, Holbrook right there to get a little positive yardage.
And that's going to end the first quarter, 21-0 Belfry. And when we come back, we'll have the second quarter. Stay with us on Hometown 24.
TVS has made a commitment to bringing you the best channel lineups and most diverse video packages available. We are proud to introduce Broadband TV, our newest and most affordable video package yet. 48 of the most watched channels we offer, some new channels only available with this package, and over 300 of the best free ad-supported channels available, all for only $29.95.
Hi, I'm attorney David Johnson. You may recognize me from some of our other ads, but injuries from an auto accident are no joking matter. With over 25 years of experience, our offices have the resources and expertise to go head-to-head with big insurance. While most of our cases get resolved without going to court, trust me, they know if the attorney you choose will take it this far. Either way, our clients get paid. So for all your legal needs, get the pros on your side.
Welcome back to the Bank of Hyman football game of the week on Trick or Treat night here at Letcher County Central. Hope everybody has been safe and trick or treating tonight in all of our coverage area.
You know, Manus, you know when you're getting old when you don't even recognize the Halloween costumes anymore.
Well, you know, today I saw a lot of, and I didn't know, they had to tell me who they were.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe pop culture might have passed me by.
It passed me by a long time ago. You're a lot younger than I am.
I like hearing you say that.
I know you do. 2nd down and 7 here as we start the second quarter, and Holbrook split on both sides, but Sturgill and Howard going to fake it. Throws it out, and it's going to be intercepted by Cottle as he cut underneath the throw to Stidham, and it's intercepted by Cottle, and that is going to be his 5th interception on the season.
And, you know, you can see he read it really well. They're playing a soft zone over the top, and, you know, Holbrook's got to get the ball a little bit more up and out towards the sideline.
And that was a long throw from that hash over to this side.
Yeah, that wide side out's a tough throw for anybody to make.
So it's going to be 1st and 10. Ball's marked on the 43-yard line. Davis behind Varney. In motion goes Woolham inside to Cottle. And he's going to be stopped right there at near the 46-yard line. Got a little jousting, and I think we're going to get both players from each side, a little bit of jousting, and
Well, they were jowling.
So I believe that was actually pushed him all the way to over here to outside, and. Let's see what the call is going to be, as Gavin Martin was going with Braden Markham.
Yeah, and that's a tough place when that offensive lineman gets his hands up under you like that and starts putting the back pedal on you.
Especially under your pads.
Yeah, it's a tough thing for a defensive lineman.
So we're going to see if they're just going to be an offsetting penalty.
I'm sure.
And the official, Tim Kugler, the white hat, head referee, is going to make the call. Unsportsmanlike behavior. Unsportsmanlike behavior.
Yes, offsetting.
And they're offset, so it'll be. And you might have seen that Cottle came up and hit his right guard and said, "It's okay."
Yeah,
it's okay. Don't do that anymore. But the physicality of the offensive line is just something that Belfry always has had. Varney steps back, no pressure. There comes flags.
Yeah, they're going to get a hold
be thrown
right there,
down the middle, and it's going to be knocked away.
Yeah, a great play by the Belfry receiver to poke the ball through what was a sure interception from Mason Stevens.
Yeah. Stevens and Cody Sturgill cut back underneath as he was hit. Varney was hit. It's going to be a holding penalty on, holding penalty on Belfry. 2 flags came out real quickly, and pretty much anytime you see that flag being thrown by the center ref or the umpire, you can about bank on it's going to be that, or it could be possibly hands to the face sometimes. Thank you once again to the Hyman Pro Mart for your sponsorship. Thank you to Tim Short Auto Group for sponsorship of our keys of the game, and we'll have the double quick halftime show, so stay with us. We'll try to get a few scores. And
yeah, my wife did a donation to Tim Short today.
Oh, my goodness. I hope, Tim, if you're tuning in, or any of the auto group, you can thank Jim McCauley.
It wasn't Jim, it was Carla.
Oh, okay. Caden's almost pulled off of Letcher Central. Varney's looking over to the sideline. Davis directly behind him as he backs up into the shotgun. We're going to speed option, and it's going to go to Davis. He's going to cut back behind Woolham, and Griffith finally gets to him And that's going to be a pretty good gain, and that's going to get about to about the 46-yard line. So it's a gain of 8.
Just a speed option out there. And, they came up and took the quarterback on really well. But linebacker a little bit out of position on that to get to the and you've got to be able to make that play at the line of scrimmage. You can't make it once the play cuts upfield.
And Letcher Central is going to call a timeout. We'll take a timeout, too, on Hometown 24.
Time out for great food. This season, everyone is stopping at Double Quick for their pregame and postgame snacks, drinks, sandwiches, and dinners. Come on in and grab a bucket of Double Quick chicken with all the sides, a real family meal for on-the-go eating. Then there's everyone's favorite, the famous Double Quick pizza rolls. Buy them 1, 2, or 6 at a time. We've got sandwiches galore, your favorite drinks, chips, and snacks, and so much more. Be sure and use your Double Quick rewards card, and good luck to all the teams from the team here at Double Quick.
Welcome back to the campus of Letcher County Central. It'll be a third down after Coach Matthews and Coach Kinser calls a timeout. Didn't like something that they saw in Belfry's formation and made a quick timeout. Woolham in motion. He'll turn and go back outside. Caudill out there with him on the wide side of the field. Varney all the way to the right side on the short side. And it's going to be, once again, it's going to be to this side with the left-hand pitch to Caudill, and he's going to get a first down, and he's going to be marked out at the 41-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10, Belfry.
Once again, you see they did a pretty good job coming up on the quarterback, but Stidham came inside, and the pitch guy was wide open, and a great job by the halfback over here, number 11, on the block out there.
Yeah, Woolham with a nice. Woolham once again will go in motion. Varney's going to step back. He's going to throw it out to Woolham. Stidham, and there comes a late penalty, comes flying in. Let's see what the call is going to be here. It's going to be a holding penalty on Belfry. And that's going to take them back from the spot. 10:47 to go, 21-0, Belfry. And they're going to mark it off, and it's going to be marked back to the 49-yard line. And it once again will be 1st and 10. No, not 1st and 10. 1st and down to Double Quick, looks like.
Yeah, it's a spot foul on that as well.
Right, and he was behind the line of scrimmage. And 49-yard line. Woolham will go in motion. It's going to be pitched to him.
Oh, there's another.
And he's got the edge. Stidham's got him, though, and he's going to go out of bounds at the 43.5-yard line.
Yeah, and the official missed the hold right there on the, it was
outside.
Yeah, outside.
I thought so.
The defender all of a sudden yanked back. But you know what? You could probably call that somewhere every play.
Got to have those stretchy jerseys so they can clearly see it. And then here goes Varney. He's going to step back. He's got a little bit of room. He's being chased. He flops it over the top, and it's ooh. And I thought that was going to be intercepted as they tried to get the football to Woolham.
Yeah, Stidham did a great job right there dropping back into coverage.
I thought he was going to tip it to himself, Jim, and intercept it. And, Colton's got 6 interceptions on the year, and that was close to being the 7th. 3rd down now and 13 yards.
Well, we pointed out when the Cougars took the field, they ran up their alley. But Varney tried to float that.
See what the Letcher Central defense dials up here. Maybe a little pressure, anticipating the pass.
You got Woolham and Caudill over here to the wide side. You've got Ace Caudill on the short side over there with Varney. And it's going to be a middle screen to Woolham. Yeah. Woolham's got a little bit of room in that nice block.
He's off to the races.
And he's going to be able to get down to the 9, and it's going to be a penalty on the tackle as he goes out at the 10.5-yard line, and I suspect that will be
it'll be half the distance to
face
go.
mask. Yep.
And that's a defensive lineman. You got to recognize when you come through free, there's a reason for it, and stop and start to backpedal and find the ball. And the Cougars really bit the bait, and all 5 defenders rush straight to the quarterback, leaving quite the lane for the middle screen.
And, what you've got simply is Woolham is such a good athlete, and they had him in motion and got him going that way. And then the nice block that you mentioned over there on the short side just opened it up for him.
Yeah, that was a heck of a crack block out there from the Z receiver.
And that will move it down to the 5-yard line after the penalty is tacked on.
That middle screen is such a good play, and one of my favorite plays, and they ran it to perfection that time.
Got Davis lining directly behind him, expect to get it, and he does get it, and he's going to go in for the 5-yard touchdown run by Dante Davis. And of course, Davis now with 2 touchdowns, Woolham with 2 touchdowns, and that's going to move it out to a 27-0 deficit with 10:17 to go here in the second quarter. Once again, Savage will come in to kick the extra point.
Big shout out there, good buddy Bumper Adams, home watching this game.
Yeah, and he wants to know how to defend that offense.
Yep.
So
I think there's a lot of people in the mountain say the same thing, Bump.
Yep. So here we go, Savage. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and that will make it 28-0 here with 10:17 to go, and we'll take a break, and we'll be right back on Hometown 24.
Brought to you by Double Quick, Key Chicago Bankruptcy Express, Hometown Pharmacy and Hazard, Mountain Health Alliance, TPBT Bancorp, Primary Care Centers, Kentucky Farm Bureau Whitesburg, and Heidi Hoffensberger Law.
Welcome back to the Bank of Hyman Friday night game of the week as Davis with a 4-yard touchdown run and the extra point puts Belfry up 28-0 with 10:17 to go. And like you said, and like you told our good buddy Bumper Adams, it's hard to simulate. It's hard to defend the Belfry Pirates.
Well, the thing, too, they're bringing a lot more multidimensionality than a normal Belfry team. Not as big and strong as some of the teams in the past. Maybe not, I don't know about strong, but, size-wise. But, man, they are athletic-looking kids.
And, when you look at they average 371 yards a game, but 108 is passing.
But we see why now. You see how they run the little shovel pass real well.
And Savage with a kick, and it's going to go to Stidham at the 21. He's going to turn to the middle. He has nowhere to go, and that's where they'll tackle him right at the 25-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 Cougars.
Yeah, Cougars really going to have to get something going here. It's going to be a tough half.
And it'll be marked at the 26-yard line. Shout out to Dexter and Lisa Campbell watching down at Jeremiah, or make that Letcher. Letcher is no longer a zip code area. You call it Blackie or Jeremiah in between. Holbrook in the backside. Stidham will go in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Sturgill, and he's going to have maybe a couple of yards. And that will be second down and 8.
You're talking about Kaiser, right guy.
Yeah, so far from what I see this Belfry team, like you had said off the air, Johnson Central, the only loss that they've had this year in week 1 or week 0, first game of the season, and they've really put the.
And it's going to be Hilton once again gets his hands up. Ben Block gets his hands up and defends that pass play, and that will send it to third down now and 7.
And that's something that, offensive linemen, when you've got a very athletic end, you've got to focus your hand placement on the lower part of their abdomen to keep those hands down. That's a teaching point that my old offensive line coach, Ronnie Goins, would preach to the offensive linemen.
And Hilton's done that twice now. So, big-time third down play for Letcher County Central. You got trips to this side. You got Stevens to the top side.
Yeah, somebody moved.
And it's going to be back to Stidham, but Bond stays with it and makes the tackle. If he doesn't make the tackle, Stidham's got some room.
Yeah. It almost looked like they were illegal men downfield on that.
And that's going to make it 4th down, and the Cougars are going to punt.
And, we hear our radio compadres over here, the Belfry team, they smell blood.
Mm-hmm.
They're really hopping around and being super aggressive.
And Stidham will go back to punt. Once again, Cottle is on the 42-yard line. Short punt, but Stidham able to get to it. And it's going to punt it, and it's going to get a nice roll as it will roll down to the 34-yard line. And that's about 40-yard punt. So
great roll right there for Stidham, and it was kind of a rough snap. He picked it up, stayed composed, and got a nice punt off.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 on the 34 for Belfry.
So, this Cougar defense, and it's kind of pick your poison. I mean, they run the ball well. We saw them throw the ball good.
And, Belfry scored all 4 times that they've received the football. And Davis, he's going to pick up on the toss to the 41-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of 7. Excuse me, that's not Davis. That was Woolham that received the toss. And that's going to make it 2nd down and 3. And that's going to be a handoff up high, but he's going to get the 1st down as Cottle picks up the 1st down for Belfry.
Yeah, and once again you see, somebody grabbed him by the shoulder pads to slow him down. But, guys, those running backs, you can't grab them by the shoulder pads.
So it'll be 1st and 10 on the 26-yard line. Amber Knoll tuning in from Bardstown. Thank you for tuning in. Says go Canaan. That's going to be out, and that's going to be to Varney, looks like. No, and that's going to be a late
foul.
hit.
They didn't call it.
It should have been.
Yeah, great open field tackle by Sturgill right there, and a really nice pass by Varney. He really put the mustard on that one.
And that's going to be 3rd down and 1 on the 45 of the Cougars. Dr. Billiter tuning in from Payne Gap. Davis directly behind Varney, and it's going to be a handoff to Cottle, and they got him in the backfield, and he's able to get away, still trying to get away, and he's not going to get away this time. Yeah, nice job that time, and that was by Sturgill.
Yeah, nice defensive play to string it out till the cavalry came.
And that's going to be a loss of 1. Nice job by the Cougar defense that time stringing it out. And it's going to be 3rd down and 2 now. It's going to be a straight handoff, and depends on the mark. I believe he's got it. And that's going to be Davis that had the football, and I believe they're going to give him. Yes, it is. 1st down and 10, Belfry.
And just a straight dive right there, right up the middle. And with those running backs, I'm so impressed with how hard they hit the hole. I mean, there's no dancing back there. It's just get your head down and get
down the hill, north-south, right. 1st and 10 as we get to the 7-minute mark. And Varney's going to go back, throws it down the seam, and he's got Varney, and he's going to go in, touchdown.
And that's that little pop pass I talked about before the game. You come up and you fake that belly and pull it out and send the tight end on the seam route, and there was nobody within 10 yards of him.
So 43-yard touchdown pass from Varney to Varney. And that will make it 34-0 with 6:55. Savage will come in to try the extra point.
You just see a textbook offensive structure from the Belfry Pirates right now. Everything clicking, everything looking good.
Cottle with the hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and that will make it 35-0 Belfry.
That'll put it on the clock.
Yes, and with that being said, we'll take a break on Hometown 24.
Home sweet home. At First Federal Savings and Loan of Hazard, we've been providing our friends and neighbors the sweet dream of homeownership since 1960. We're proud to support the community we work and live in. That's why we take so much pride in providing competitive rates, low closing costs, and quick turnaround by local decision makers. Investing and growing our community is what we do. At First Federal Savings and Loan of Hazard, we believe that there's no place like our home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central. Thank you for joining us on the Bank of Hyman Football Game of the Week. Magnus Blair with Jim Bob McCauley. 35-0, 6:55 to go after the pass from Caden Varney down to, or excuse me, not Caden Varney, Chase Varney to Caden Varney. Varney to Varney, and that makes it 35-0 with 6:55 to go. Savage will put the tee down, and down on the riverbank, it is 7-7, Russell and Breathitt County in the about to the end of the first quarter. And here goes the kick, and Savage kicks it once again right to Stidham. Stidham's going to turn it back up. He's got a little bit of room, and he's going to go turn it right up, and he's going to be tackled at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, you just see a lot of just really good fundamentals from this Belfry team on offense and defense. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and I wouldn't be surprised that they're not playing
down
in the carpet here early in December. They've got a real good chance to make a run at it this year. Already defeated Louisville Central, one of their arch rivals, earlier in the year. Their only loss, once again, to Johnson Central, first game of the season.
Holbrook will take the snap, and he'll hand it off to Howard, and he is hit, but he's keeping moving. He moves, got every bit of that on his own, and that's going to be a gain of 3.
Yeah, Howard, very strong run. He was hit about a yard deep in the backfield and
just kept churning away.
Yeah, just
kept feet moving.
Strong kid.
As we go under the 6-minute mark, second down and 7. 6. Let's make it 6.
At this point, if you're Letcher Central, you're down 35-0. When you throw the ball, it stops the clock, and
right.
You just got to keep doing what you're doing.
Stevens backs up over there. He's a little bit off, and it's going to be once again to Howard. He's got the outside, and he's going to get tackled right there at the 40. He's going to pick up 2, and that'll make it third down and about 4. Puts it right on the nose of the football. Will be right on the 40-yard line.
Somerset leading Hazard right now 14-7 over there in the holler.
And, you want to go into that first-round matchup as healthy as you can possibly. Everybody's beat up at this time, and you want to go in and you want to be healthy and at your best going into that first-round game. Of course, Letcher Central will be hosting Knox Central right here in the first round. And like we said, Leslie County will be going over to Belfry. And Holbrook's going to throw a nice pass right there.
Just drops it right over the linebacker in front of the corner. Just an excellent pass by Holbrook for a first down. Much needed.
Very much needed. And that was a precision pass, 10 yards on the pass. And I think that was to Stevens on the far side. So it'll be first down and 10. And they're going to give it off to Howard, and he sidesteps, and he's going to pick up about a yard.
And that's the thing against this Belfry defense, and Howard, when you take that sidestep or the stutter step, it's just those linebackers are coming up and just closing in on them. You just got to get and go.
Second down and 9. Thank you, Tim Eldridge from down in London, for tuning in.
He made a couple really nice rushes on the first possession. Cougars were moving a little.
Holbrook in the gun, 2 receivers both ways. Ball on the far half.
Holbrook's going to step back. He's going to throw it out there, and it's going to be a little bit short on the comeback.
And the stunt from Belfry, linebacker, he came kind of untouched up the middle and made, Holbrook couldn't set his feet right there.
Threw it on his back foot, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
Brought it up short because he was backpedaling. Didn't really have a good area to
Stay with us at halftime for the Double Quick halftime show. We'll talk a little bit about the games tomorrow on the college scene. We'll talk about Kentucky and Auburn a little bit. Holbrook's going to go back. He's being pressured to goes out and rolls out to it, and it's going to be incomplete.
Belfry just playing that soft zone, and once the quarterback moves his eye, you'll see everybody kind of closing in that zone. Just well-coached secondary of this Belfry Pirates. Like I said, now up to 13 interceptions on the year. Good defense.
And it'll be 4th and 9, and, of course, Letcher Central going for it as the clock will continue to run. And, you're looking for things that are positive to end on for Letcher Central here in the first half. Holbrook goes back, 3-man rush, and he's going to throw it to Brown, and Brown is going to try to push, and I don't think he's going to get it.
Now, he's about a yard short, but a valiant effort as he spun off the first defender and gained another couple of yards before he was stoned by the Belfry secondary.
And it is going to be a turnover on downs. It'll be Belfry football on the 41-yard line.
Oh, very just blood and guts, man. I mean, you can't fault the effort at all. Belfry finally came in there with 3 or 4 to stop the momentum. He gave it everything he had.
And right now, Letcher Central short 2 men, and here they come.
They're coming out.
Gavin Martin running on the field, and it's going to be a handoff to Caudle. Caudle weaving his way through. Here comes a flag, and he's going to be 45-40, 35, and he's going to go out of bounds at the 23, but I think that's going to come back.
Yeah, that little hold out there on the perimeter.
Caudle, in his little size, he was going behind the big hogs, and you just can't see him.
Oh, and when he comes out, he's wheeling.
Yep. And that is going to be a holding on Belfry.
Yeah, and clock continues to run in the running clock situation here in the second quarter. Time they get this marked off, they may get one more play.
I agree. That's
As goes under 40 seconds.
effort and enthusiasm. That's going to back them up pretty good.
And it's going to be handed off, and it's going to be right up the middle comes Davis.
Yeah, nice play. I'm trying to see who that was for the Cougars, number 9.
That was Osborne, I believe.
Yeah.
It's going to be placed at the 39-yard line, and this will be the last play of the half as Caudle will turn it back. And he's going to be, he comes off of Stidham, and he's going to be tackled right there at the 41-yard line. And that will end the first half with Belfry up on the Cougars 35-0. And when we come back, we'll have the Double Quick halftime show. So stay with us on Hometown 24.
Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance helps protect more than 474,000 Kentucky families and businesses. Many of our members have been with us for years, even decades. Perhaps it's because of the competitive rates or our unmatched service. Or maybe the biggest reason is they know they can count on Kentucky's insurance company to be there when it matters. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Hey, it's Kristen Mulcahy from Appalachian Wireless. One of the things that makes us the region's best network isn't just our coverage, it's that we're local. You'll find real people right here from home, ready to help you get the best deals on the latest devices. We hear the other carriers bragging about how they cover the middle of nowhere. But this isn't nowhere. All our roads lead to somewhere. So come home to Appalachian Wireless. Visit us at AppalachianWireless.com or in one of our many retail locations. Because we are you, we are Appalachian Wireless.
If you're looking for a convenient pharmacy location with a friendly, caring staff, look no further than Heinemann Pharmacy, located inside the new Heinemann Primary Care Center. Our pharmacy is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 6:30, but always stays open until the last patient is seen. Whether you need to pick up your refills in our drive-thru, need a favorite medicine for your little ones, or something to feel better after a visit to the clinic, the Heinemann Pharmacy inside Primary Care has got you covered. Located at 425 Heinemann Bypass. Call the Heinemann Pharmacy at 785-0513.
My name is Isabella, and I am from Madison County, Kentucky. Instead of choosing a larger university, I chose to attend Alice Lloyd College because I wanted a more personal college experience. The small class sizes provide a close relationship between students and professor that isn't possible at any other university. ALC is more than a place to learn, it is a place to grow, serve, and lead. Learn more at alc.edu.
Welcome back to the Double Quick Halftime Show. Belfry up on the Cougars 35-0 at halftime. And, you know, we were kind of talking off what we're going to talk about here at the halftime show. And most everybody other than talking high school football was talking about the scrimmage exhibition last night with Kentucky and Georgetown. And what did you make of that last night?
Well, you know, I think it's exactly what it is. It's a scrimmage game. UK down probably 3 starters. You know, the difference, I think, you know, Georgetown came out, and I felt like, you know, maybe bullied Kentucky a little bit. They didn't get a lot of clean looks at the basket, kind of forced some shots. But, you know, when you're down to your third-string point guard, and I think Chandler didn't do a terrible job handling the ball. But, you know, don't panic, UK fans.
Yeah. Oh, no. Look, what is the date?
Yeah, and
my goodness, come on now. But, you know, I agree with you. They did bully us a little bit and a little bit physical. Of course, we're not playing, I think a lot of times last night we took a lot of quick shots that we will not take as the season progresses. Did not shoot the ball well in the second half.
No, it was a tough goal. They hit 1-3 in the second half.
And, you know, some of that was the defense of Georgetown and some of it was just missing shots. And you're going to have those games occasionally.
You know, when you're down, you know, you practice all summer, you know, with the point guard, and then their second point guard. And now all of a sudden, you know, your point guard is such a critical part to put you in a situation to make plays, and offense a little out of sync when, you know, but I think Oway looked pretty good. I was pleased with him.
Yeah.
You know, I thought Chandler, you know, he does a lot of things that people don't recognize. You know, he's a lot of good rebounds, did a lot of things good. So all in all, I mean, like I said, it's preseason game number 2.
Yeah.
Means nothing.
And normally you don't play Power 4 teams. We usually play you know, some of the college teams throughout the state of Kentucky, and, you know, it just gets you accustomed to being in front. And, you know, the people of UK traditionally are either one way or another and went to die. Some of them were a little bit overblown last night in their comments, so –
that's ridiculous. And take a deep breath, guys.
Take a deep breath and enjoy the season.
And the same thing I'm sure that the Purdue fans were saying after the first game.
Exactly.
The same thing that, you know, Arkansas, Tennessee, Louisville.
After Duke beat them, but my goodness.
Guys, we are a long way from when it counts. And right now, the coaches, the rotations are still
and it's still football season.
It is football season. And we're going to talk about the Fighting Diego Pavias of Vanderbilt as they travel over to Texas.
Who would have thunk that Texas would have a better,
or if Vandy would have a better record than Texas?
Would you know, starting out 1 or 2, depending on how the pundits out there, and then Vanderbilt goes into Austin. Do you make them the favorite?
Oh, I do, because I really like Vanderbilt. I've really enjoyed watching them play this year.
Well, let me ask you another question. I've never asked you this, but does Vanderbilt coach after this successful season? Does he, even though he's a Vanderbilt grad, does he look to go somewhere else?
You know, I know a lot
for
of
a
people.
lot more money.
I know a lot of people that would be glad to have him because he's did a great job at that program. But he's kind of caught lightning in a bottle with his 47-year-old quarterback, and they play with a lot of swag.
Let's change gears to Kentucky and Auburn. Is this whoever loses Monday morning? Do they get their pink slip?
I read an article the other day, and it was highlighted by whoever wins loses.
Whoever wins, oh yeah, okay.
And both Freeze and Stoops definitely on the super hot seat right now, and Manus, I think Stoops is well deserved. But when I look around the college landscape right now, it's very disappointing.
Yeah. I don't know if you call it college landscape anymore.
You're right. Is it college?
I don't know.
When you having to balance, and people have no idea. I couldn't imagine as a coach dealing with having to recruit your players all the way, through the season, at the end of the season, at the beginning of the season, the transfer portal coming in the way it does, NIL the way it is. I mean, honestly, you would do better to have a CEO running this than you would a coach, from my standpoint, because
and a lot of that's where they've gone back to this GM stuff, and I don't even know exactly what their duties or titles would be. I do know in professional sports what a GM is,
exactly.
But what does a GM do in college? Maybe our viewers out there have a better answer to that.
But, as they look at it, Kentucky Auburn, I mean, it is an intriguing matchup, and it's kind of one of those things that, the Stoops go into the locker room and say, hey, guys, and the guys have his back and come out and
you don't know what the locker room, the culture in the locker room,
right.
and you know that. You've coached football for a long time. And
perception of what we see on the field does not reflect the team environment at all. And, I would.
And we'll know. I think we'll know Saturday night.
Yeah, you will.
And, on the Plains, Hugh Freeze.
Oh,
really, he's had really two games where he should have won, and really I thought he got the bad end of the officiating.
He did.
And I'm not one to ever criticize officiating. You take those two games and they become wins. We're not talking about Hugh Freeze being gone.
Exactly, and the thing is, everyone, if you're a Power 5 team and you're a blue blood program, now the attitude is, if we're not in the playoffs, we're firing our coach.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. And I think that Penn State's going to get a rude awakening. And I'm not a huge James Franklin fan.
No, I'm
but
not.
But you look around, and so where do you go?
Yeah, and look at all the Power 4 conference coaches that are gone, or going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you replace them with? Are they going to be any better?
I take a guy
in regard to that.
Yeah, you take a guy that these names that were so hot 4 or 5 years ago. Now they're you look at Nebraska. You look at other places where they got.
But Rule may end up at Penn State.
That's what I'm saying, and so it's easy to say we're going to get rid of him. Mm-hmm. And then, when it comes to a point, which, is a coach going to turn down $40 and $50 million? Probably not.
So does that change the restructuring of contracts now after we've seen Brian Kelly is gone?
Well, you
James
saw what
Franklin
the governor of Louisiana comes out. So now we're looking at politics on top of it.
I think they need to worry about a little bit more important things in Louisiana, Kentucky, and all than how the football team's doing.
Agreed, 100%.
Which I know it helps in recruiting regular students to your university when you do well. But at the same token, you need to be managing state government rather than worrying about who the football coach is.
Hey, some games around the area tonight. We've got dandy brewing on the riverbank over there in Breathitt County. Russell, a really hot team coming in. But, Coach Moore has done a phenomenal job this year. Kind of flew under the radar earlier in the year. But, 14-13 over there right now. Breathitt maintaining a 1-point lead over Russell.
And, going into the playoffs, and Breathitt County hosts St. Henry who's not really known for football that way. I don't really know that much about it, but, next week Prairie Central goes to Lincoln County. Lincoln County having a really good season.
And they were good last year.
St. Henry, of course, will go to the Riverbank. Wayne County goes across the mountain here to Harlan County. Harlan Independent plays at Middlesboro. Knott County Central goes across and up here on 23 to Shelby Valley. Knott Central, of course, as we've already mentioned here at Letcher Central. Leslie County goes to Belfry, and Pineville goes to Hazard in our coverage area. So, like you said, some of those games may get out of hand.
Yeah.
There may be, if you were picking one of those games to be a game that possibly could be a really good game, I'm going to throw out Knott County Central and Shelby Valley.
And, Shelby Valley's kind of come on a little bit here of late. Not had a great season statistically wise, but are playing better. Knott County Central, are they looking forward to this? They had aspirations to be top 2 in the district. Of course, came up a little bit short. So, once again, how do you feel as a team going into a first-round playoff game? And I believe it's definitely a winnable football game for Knott County. Oh, yeah. I would think Knott County would be the favorite. And I'm not for sure how long it's been since Knott County won a playoff game. So,
and I have not researched that, but I will.
But, that could be a big game for Coach Randall Mullins over there. And, to get a notch in the, and he's accomplished
that's the next step.
Yeah, he's exactly what you said, the next step into what he's wanting to do with that program. Going to be some great games in the second round, though. I really feel like,
so.
I'm very impressed with Martin County and Prestonsburg. They played a nail-biter last week over there, and, I'm anxious to see how all that pans out.
And, Devin Maynard for Martin County just beats all when it comes to what he can do.
He's probably –
and he's played hurt. A lot of 2 or 3 games I've watched, he's come up, but he never hardly comes off the field offensively and defensively.
Yeah, and he's one of the prime-time athletes in our viewing area.
Yeah, and we've yet to mention baseball.
Yeah.
Should we mention baseball here?
Well, I'm hoping that it ends, that it wraps up.
Now, Coach Melton from down in Berea, my coach, college baseball coach at Alice Lloyd, I'm about to say something that if you're tuning in or someone gives you this, I would really like to see Toronto win.
Yeah.
Personally.
I think 99% of America, probably not Donald Trump and his Canadian tariffs, but I think 99% of the other people outside the city of Los Angeles and are really cheering hard for their Canadian brethren.
But the 18-inning game that ended, and I went to bed at 2:50, even though I wasn't a Blue Jays or Dodger fan and didn't have to turn around and actually go to work, did not settle too well with me. But
no, you didn't look real good the next morning.
I wasn't really my usual self when I get up. But anyway, I also want to say while we're doing the Double Quick Halftime Show, really appreciate the people of Leslie County. And Betty Vaughn and I did several games. Well, we did 7 games over at Leslie County for the 14th Region Volleyball Tournament, of which Knott County Central was victorious over Leslie County. And just want to say the people of Leslie County treated us so well in the Hometown 24 crew. Mark Collett, the athletic director, and to Coach Washburn did an outstanding job along with the other top teams in the 14th region. Really competitive season and really enjoyed it. And just found out today that we will be doing the game Monday night over at Shelby Valley over at the Sports Center between Shelby Valley and Knott County Central. So if you can't go over to Shelby Valley to watch the game, tune in, and me and Betty Vaughn will have the game Monday night. Tuesday night, we will be at Alice Lloyd College doing basketball. So got a lot going on Hometown 24, and, always keep up with us on what we're doing. 40 years of bringing local coverage of local sports.
Real quick, got some other sports scores in. Lawrence County on top of Boyd, 20-14. Lawrence stops Boyd on the half-yard line. Next play, 99-yard touchdown to go up, 20-14. Bell County all over Pulaski at the half, 20-7. And Bell County, another team in the mountains that's really got a chance to make some noise down the road.
Rocking and rolling.
Looks like Somerset 21, Hazard 7 over there in the holler. See, Russell and Breathitt are now is still 14-13 over there. So just a few games around the area.
Yeah, and as Belfry makes their way out, and of course you probably saw that the band for Letcher Central were honoring their seniors, and this is senior night at Letcher Central. 12 seniors for the football team. The thing about it is a lot going on. We won't talk about NBA, but NBA started up. So this time of the year is my favorite time of the year. Baseball, football, a little bit of NASCAR, a little bit of everything going on.
I think you've got a big game in Johnson County tomorrow for the middle school Cougars. Undefeated and 14-0. I think they're going to play an undefeated Pikeville team over there. So if you guys get a chance,
definitely.
I think that the radio, our counterparts here, are going to be covering it, Bull and Mike. So if you tune in and listen to them over there at Johnson County,
it should be a heck of a football.
Should be a heck of a game. Somebody's got to lose. Both teams undefeated.
And unfortunately, it's going to be their first loss. But heck, fire! It's a regional championship, and that's what you play for. And Coach Chad Bates has done an outstanding job for the Letcher County Middle School team, and a lot of people have got behind him and his little Cougars. I don't guess you can call them little Cougars.
No, they're good-looking kids.
They're very athletic and everything. So this has been the Double Quick halftime show, and we appreciate Double Quick this year for sponsoring a halftime show, just like Hyman ProMart, just like Tim Short Auto Group, and there's a lot of different things, a lot of different sponsors that's helped Hometown 24, and we do appreciate it greatly in all the sports in which we cover on Hometown 24, and allows us to do it and allows us to move around throughout the mountains and call all kinds of sports, and I just happen to be the lucky person that gets to do it.
Oh, yeah. It's such an enjoyment. We get to meet so many good kids, meet a lot of people out in the communities, not just the community that you're from, but the communities that we cover because, Maina said it plenty of times, we are no longer from, we're for all the kids. And we want to, see all these different kids and the different schools succeed and be able to highlight them a little bit for a brief time.
Right. And it just makes it enjoyable as educators to just see kids blossoming. And that we saw that throughout the volleyball season this year, and we've been around to different places in football on a Friday night, and we really appreciate all the people that come up to us and say, we listen to you and watch you, and we appreciate that.
And those of you that don't come up and tell us.
Yeah, that is, and we'll have the second half when we come back, and we're going to take a break here a little bit. And thank you once again for joining us on the Double Quick halftime show. So we'll be back in a little bit. So stay with us on Hometown 24.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
Tucked deep within the rolling hills and ancient ridgelines of the Appalachian Mountains, Eastern Kentucky is a place where heritage runs deep and community runs deeper. Known for its coal mining legacy, bluegrass traditions, and fiercely proud people, this region tells a story of resilience, creativity, and quiet beauty. I'm going to take you along with me as I visit some different counties of Eastern Kentucky and explore what all this amazing region has to offer. Hi, I'm Rebecca McCauley, and this is Bluegrass and Backroads.
Welcome back, and as we get ready to start the second half, Minus Blair with Jim Bob McCauley. And Jim, how do you approach it on either end of the spectrum?
Well, first and foremost, you've got to think, hey, keep a cool head. Yeah. No matter what happens, we don't, you don't even want to eject it going into the playoffs.
No, because you sit out.
Yeah, and so that's number one. And number two, you go out there and play football. If the game is out of hand and it going to be a running clock. It's going to make it tough on the Cougars. But you got to look for the positives, like you said earlier. I think the pass blocking's been well for the Cougars for the most part. And come out and stay within the frame of your offense and work on things.
Yeah, I mean, really and truthfully, and I know the coaching staff of Letcher Central is down and the players are down. But, you got to end out on a good note here, try to get something going. And,
Belfry, top 20 team across all classes in the state right now. And they're, like I said, they've got their eye set on, a state championship, and they're no stranger to that anyway. So, I think Letcher Central just needs to come out and play football.
And they lined up on the wrong side here is Belfry, number 4 overall in AA in the RPI. Of course, 1 is Owensboro Catholic, 2 is Lexington Christian, 3 is Mayfield. You might have heard that Mayfield team before. And, of course, a really good job down at Danville.
Yeah. A team that we thought was completely dead this time last year. And
we got an onside kick and didn't catch them off, and it's going to be Belfry football. So onside kick caught me and all of us off guard.
Yeah, we weren't anticipating that.
So it's going to be the ball is going to be placed on the 50-yard line. And then when you're talking about Letcher Central on the RPI is 12th in 3A. And, of course, on the top of that is Christian Academy of Louisville. And you know what they're going for.
Yeah, and they're probably the number 3 or number 4 team overall across all classes in the state right now.
And let's see, we've got the clock is rolling on 1st and 10 on the 50. And Varney's going to take it. It's going to be an option to the right, and it's going to be a pitch out, and it's going to be I thought they had him for a minute, but he's going to turn back, and he's going to have an opportunity to go, and it's going to be 30, 20. He's going to cut back to the middle, cuts back once again, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. And I did not see any flags, and that's going to be a 50-yard run for Belfry, for Woolham, and that's going to be his 3rd touchdown on the night.
Yeah, that's comes out, and that's all Woolham. He catches the option to the right. They kind of hem him up. He reverses the field, travels 40 yards back across the field till he gets to the opposite sideline, and he goes down for the touchdown.
So, once again, Savage will come out to kick the extra point.
Looked very good. A little arm tackling going on.
Savage will get it up, and it will be good. And it will be 42-0 Belfry, and we'll take a timeout. Stay with us on Hometown 24.
No matter what town or community you live in, there's a Tim Short dealership nearby. That's because our family of dealerships are dedicated to serving the folks throughout Eastern Kentucky. Our employees are your friends and neighbors, helping to support the local economy and provide safe and affordable transportation to everyone that shops the family of Tim Short dealerships. Our entire inventory can be found with a click of a button at timshortautogroup.com. Visit us online and join the thousands of customers that took the short drive to satisfaction today.
Oh, welcome back as a 50-yard rush by Woolham, J.B. Woolham, pushes the lead out to 42-0 on the Pirates, and with 9:54 to go here as Bull Creech, my good buddy's over here. I think he's listening in on what I had to say for some unknown reason, but
you got to watch that Bull. And if anybody knows Bull Creech, he's one of the most outstanding men around high school sports, but he's been known to cause a little trouble up here at the press box.
A lot of times he used to foul me a whole lot on the basketball court when he played at Whitesburg and I played at Letcher. Never did get back at him, though. 9:20 is Savage will kick it off, and it will go to Stidham right at the 12. And he's going to juke and jive. He's going to go outside, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. I think you could draw a mark where Savage has kicked it each time to the left side.
Yeah, if I'm Stidham, I'm like, hey, somebody needs to change with me at least once.
So it's going to be marked at the 32-yard line. Thank you for tuning in. Drew Reed, one of my favorite players that played at Knott County Central, one of the best defensive
I was going to say, a defensive machine, Drew Reed.
She was a defensive maven, is what I called her, and hope she's doing well.
At ETSU, I think.
Yes, she is, and that's going to be a handoff, and that's going to be caught in a backfield, Sturgill, and let's see where they mark it. It's going to be a 1-yard loss.
Yep. And, you've really watched a lot of this Jamison Chafin, just a sophomore, number 18.
Sophomore, yes.
So quick to the ball. Man, he is a ball hawk, and he plays with a lot of energy. This is a dandy ball player.
And it'll be second down and 11, 31-yard line. Holbrook will step back, pressure on him as he hits Brown, and it's going to be a tackle for a gain of about 1. So it'll make it 3rd down and 10 for the Cougars. For those Pike County people tuning in, thank you for tuning in with us.
Yeah, it's
or not just Pike County people throughout. We've had people from North Carolina and all different places saying that they're tuning in. Thank you for doing so.
Cougars at this point, you got to just stay within the frame of your offense and, just try to move the clock.
Holbrook's going to step up. Nice pass, and that's going to be a first down.
Yeah, should give him a first down right here. And,
that was Stidham over there. So nice pass from Holbrook, and that's going to be about a 12-yard gain.
And the offensive line for the Cougars did a great job creating a pocket for Holbrook tonight. A couple of times they blitzed, and when they see more than you can block, there's not much you can do about it.
But Holbrook has stepped up, and it's going to be motion over there. I believe it's on the left tackle, and that's going to take them back 5 yards. But, Holbrook has stepped up several times after a little pressure on the edge, and that's going to move it back 5 yards. It'll be 1st down and 15. Ball's marked at the 39-yard line. And it's going to go to Sturgill, and he's going to sidestep the tackler. But no, they're going to catch him right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, once again, it's Chafin's out there, and he is so quick to the ball. And, he plays kind of like a hybrid linebacker position. But, I've said this several times. Belfry just so athletic across the line. I'm used to.
And I meant no ill at the beginning saying that they were small. I just, and that's what the advent of football now is, that side to side. Even in college, you don't have that middle linebacker anymore, seems like, and someone that can cover, especially in a spread offense.
But, you see Chafin's is kind of playing that inside backer position, but he's more of a
and that was a sling.
Nice play.
And that's going to be Stevens, and that's going to be a 1st down.
A nice pass from Holbrook right there as he quickly gets rid of that one, and Stevens settles into the zone for a 1st down. Second first down of this possession.
But that's going to be a 19-yard gain for the Cougars as they speed up. And that's going to be it's going to roll to the right, and it's going to be thrown out there to Stidham, and up come for the tackle was Woolham. And the mark is going to be at the 38-yard line, so that's going to be a pickup of 4.
Yeah, good structural plays right here. I like what they're doing. Not trying to hit home runs, but just going out there and working in the, in the framework of their offense.
Holbrook steps back. Once again, nice coverage. And it's going to be Howard, and it's going to be right at the 35 as Chafin comes up and cuts the legs out from Howard.
Yeah, Belfry, it's a very fundamental team. When they tackle, they do tackle the right way. Just you watch them on the offensive line. They do a great job getting under the ball or under the shoulder pads.
And it's going to be handed off to Howard. He's got some room, breaks a tackle, He's down to the 11, I believe, is where they're going to mark it. So once again, Howard breaking through.
Yeah, he caught the Cougars that time caught Belfry in a blitz. They blitzed their inside linebackers, and when Howard comes through the off tackle, there was nobody there for about 12 yards.
As we move under the 4-minute mark in the third quarter, once again gives it back to Howard, and he's going to be stopped right there, and the stop's going to be made this time. I believe that was Bond that comes off the tackle. It was. And he's going to pick up about 3 yards for the Cougars. Cougars trying to put points on the board here in the third quarter. Holbrook steps back, and he's got a little line. It's going to close on him, but he's going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards on the carry.
Yeah, not a bad decision by Holbrook right there, and going to make it
that's probably going to be about third and maybe 3.5.
So Cougars can still get a first down here.
Which that was what was so hopeful on the first drive of the game, man. This Cougar offensive line came out.
They got a great push on several plays.
And as we go down to the 20, they look back over as the play clock runs down. And Howard, he's going to turn, and he's going to be pushed back at about the 6-yard line.
They may give him a pretty good mark here.
Let's see what the head linesman's marking it at the 5. So it's going to be 4th down and about 2 yards now. As we move closer to the 2-minute mark. And it's going to be a handoff to Sturgill. He sidesteps. I believe he's going to get in there, and he does. So Sturgill with a touchdown run for the Cougars, 5-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, great drive all the way down for the Cougars. Mix of good pass and run. Kind of reminiscent of the first drive they had. Go down and hit pay dirt.
And I think they'll go for 2 points.
These kids are going to play their hardest till the final whistle. There's no question.
As Brett Sturgill will score the first touchdown for the Cougars tonight. And they will go for 2. Sturgill will be to the right of Holbrook. Osborne to the wide side. And it's going to be back to Sturgill, and he's not going to get it. So the 2-point conversion fails, and that will keep it at 42-6. And we'll take a break right here, and we'll be back on Hometown 24.
But that's going to do.
Good times, good food, and good people at the Goal Line Bar and Grill. Come try their daily lunch specials as well as the best steak in Hazard as voted by the people. Looking for something fun to do? Hit up the tables and the dartboard. Also, trivia night every Tuesday evening. Goal Line has all your favorite big sports events on the big screen. There's something for everyone at Goal Line. Goal Line Bar and Grill in Hazard.
Welcome back as Brett Sturgill with a 5-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion failed, 42-6, Belfry. And not sure they're going to get the kickoff prior to the fourth quarter starting here. And last time they faked us out with the onside kick. Belfry this time's inching up and ready to go. And you can touch the ball before it goes 10 if you're the receiving team. You just can't do it if you're the kicking team. And we'll just stay here, and man alive, the deer hunters and the people out there, be careful tonight.
Yeah, that's something when you're traveling for the next 2 weeks. You better really be cautious because a lot of deer out stirring.
A lot of deer, so be careful tonight for the. Hopefully everybody leaving the football game and going back to Pike County or the people throughout Letcher County be recognizing that you better slow down, in other words, especially on those foggy mornings. once again, Monday night we'll be over at the Shelby Valley Sports Center as me and Betty Von Cottle and Hometown 24 and all the crew will be over. I think the game time will be 7. We'll probably be on the air sometime around 6:30 or so.
Hey, were you surprised
6:40.
that Shelby Valley knocked Paintsville off?
No, I was not, because Shelby Valley's had a really good season. But Paintsville has had a really good season too. And Kenner, the Kenners are the coach and the player.
Daughter, yeah.
Are very good, and she's a very good basketball player as well. So not really surprised, but being played at Paintsville, they had a little bit of a not home field, but and that's going to be a kick, and that's going to be a
good smart call by the Belfry player causing the fair catch right there
on the pooch kick.
The first time I ever saw that, it was actually Belfry. They kicked a real high, short kick, and I think it was against Johnson Central, and the Johnson Central receiver didn't know to call fair catch, and it was bad news for him.
Oh, he got trampled, huh?
Yeah, and Belfry got the ball.
Yeah.
So I always thought, boy, called that fair catch.
So the ball's going to be marked at the 35-yard line, and the ball's going to go up the middle there, and I believe that was a sub. And it is a sub. It is number 32 in the backfield, and number 32 is
Isaiah May.
Isaiah May, and I did have Isaiah highlighted. He is a sophomore. So Coach Varney subbing some. He's got a different group, and that's number 14 that comes in for the run, and that is Kane Cottle. Boy, they got Cottles everywhere.
Boy, even in Pike County.
Even in Pike, we got a lot of Cottles here in Letcher County too. So that goes up first down as they go to the 47-yard line. And like you always said, everybody that comes in runs the same stuff. And number 19 for Belfry will get the handoff. And number 19, let's see who he is. And
that is Jacob Varney, another Varney.
Varney. So that's going to be a gain of 3, and it moves it up to the 49-yard line. It's going to be a handoff, and May is going to keep going, moves his feet, and finally he's going to be tackled at the 36-yard line.
Nice hard run right there from the young fella.
And, of course.
And you can see, Manus, the cupboard is not going to be bare anytime in the near future at over there on Pond Creek.
Far from it. And I've failed to mention who the quarterback is. It's Gabe Varney. And it's kind of down to the 30. It's kind of like calling volleyball over at Leslie County, and you got the Osborns.
They do more than play Rocky Top.
They definitely do, and I'm glad I'm glad it's an Osborne song, but I want their version, not that version down in Knoxville. May's got the handoff. He loses the football, and I believe the Cougars have gotten it, and they do, and that's the first turnover for Belfry on the night, and the Cougars will have the football on the 28-yard line. And I did not see who recovered the football.
I couldn't tell either.
So Letcher Central will have the football 1st and 10 on the 28 as we will go under the 9-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Want to brag on our football bunch of Hometown 24 between Jeremiah Melt. It is so funny sometimes, and they're going to call timeout, and we'll just keep it here. But I just want to thank all the people that works for Hometown 24. They've always been really good to me, and sometimes they didn't need to be.
Well, and that's one thing that we enjoy working here. It's family. It's a family atmosphere, and everybody gets along with everybody real well, and it makes it a pleasure to do these games.
Except KJ, sometimes.
Yeah, you got to watch him.
He says, and I saved Brady tonight with hand warmers, and I hope he understands that. Over at halftime, Breathitt County is ahead of Russell 20-13.
Well, that's a big win. I mean, Russell's had some nice success this year. Frazier, their quarterback,
8-1.
quite the player.
Yes, definitely.
Got to know his dad, Jeff, and, very proud of his son, as he should be. And Russell, Red Devils, and that's an old rivalry.
So it'll be 1st and 10, and it will be Holbrook will throw it to Stidham. He will turn. He's got some room. And he's got more room, and he'll go down to like the 46, 47 yard line.
Got a face mask that'll add on to that.
And
Belfry looks like most of their young kids out on defense now.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up 42-6, you don't want to have someone to get injured, and.
It's a holding on the Cougars.
It's a hold, and I thought it was a block in the back.
And I thought it was a face mask. So what do we know?
0 for 2. Last time I checked, that's 0%. So it was a hold, and that will keep it at 1st down, and it was a spot foul, and it will be 1st and, 6?
Yep.
As we go under the 8-minute mark. And it's going to be a handoff, and that ball is going to be for maybe 1 yard.
And this might be one of them instances, Michael, where a week off, they got a little rusty, maybe.
Got a score of the Hazard game, Jeremiah? We got a score for the.
Thought I had one there for a second. Holbrook's going to throw out, and that's going to be a nice tackle over there by Belfry. And let's see who's on the tackle there. I believe that's number 19.
21-14 still over there at the holler. Somerset on top.
So Hazard needing to pick up a big win, and that would be a big win against the Briar Jumpers.
Yeah, they're 8-1 right now.
Stidham is going to be tackled. Nice pass, and that's going to be right on the 50, which will mean 1st down and 10 Cougars. And it is 1st down. And they'll Holbrook will step back, no pressure on him. He's going to roll left, throw as he's hit, and that's going to be a heck of a catch by Stidham. No, they're going to say he didn't complete it.
Yeah, Holbrook took a shot right there after he delivered the ball. A shot.
And it will be 2nd down now and 10 on the 50.
As they stay in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right.
And it's going to be handed off to Howard, and he's going to sidestep the tackler, and he's going to pick up a couple. And that's going to be marked on the 48, 3rd and 8 now.
And Cougars really careful right here. You don't want to get an injury or something at this point of the game.
Again, the Cougars quickly back to the line. They're probably working on a 2-minute offense.
Holbrook will have it. Howard to his left.
What you do with the rest of this game, you try to work on stuff against a tremendously high-quality opponent. You can't simulate this in practice.
No, absolutely not. 30 left in the ball game. 2 receivers both ways.
Holbrook once again looks to the sideline.
There's still plenty of time on the play clock.
Yep, down under 10. Holbrook looking down the middle of the field, and that's going to be incomplete as he was trying to hit Brown.
Almost pulled his flag out. They needed to put it back in on the. The defender was a little early on that. I saw him reach into his pocket, and then he kind of put it back out. I think he must be code 2.
I think by looking at the fans and everybody else, we're in the warm confines of press box.
Yeah.
But now our camera people,
little cool.
4th down and 8. And Holbrook looking, and he's going to find Howard, and he's going to sidestep the tackler. He's going to 35. He's going to bowl down to the 29-yard line. 1st down and 10, Cougars.
clock is going to wind under 4 minutes by this next play.
Howard leaked out of the backfield. Pushed it down across the 30.
29-yard line. And Holbrook will roll to the right, and he's going to throw it over there, and that's going to be Stidham again, and he's going to pick up about, as he turned back, he's going to pick up 4 on first down.
Yeah, it gets down to the 25. And he spun.
Want to say to Coach Ray Dixon, if he watches this, I see him, he's not been feeling well, and for Letcher Central, and I hope he gets to feeling better. And if not, we're going to pick him up tomorrow and
take him to the doctor.
We'll take him to the doctor, just like my buddy Jim Bob did with me here not too long ago. And Howard's going to go down. It's going to be 2 yards short on the second down play, so it'll be third down. Hopefully everybody was safe tonight, and make sure you check your candy tonight. You guys and gals with that big bag of candy, don't eat it all at once.
No. Save the Snickers for Daddy.
Yeah. Oh, third down 2. Howard with the run. He's going to get the first down. He's going to have here comes a flag on the outside, and that's going to be a hold as we go under the 3-minute mark. So it's probably going to take it back, more than likely. And it will.
Howard was trying to break loose. I think a lineman was, they might be waving it off. Yes.
And they're going to pick the flag up. Nope, they're not picking it up. Nope.
Oh, it's just a sideline.
Sideline warning. That's why they picked it up. Somerset still ahead of Hazard 21-14 with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Holbrook pump fakes.
All kinds of time.
He's going to turn to the left, fakes again, throws it long, and that's going to be a touchdown as Mason Stevens with a touchdown throw from Holbrook.
Took another big lick right there as he let go. Big shout out to my old coach and buddy, Keith McRoy, tuning in and listening tonight from the Big Town Neon.
Gunner bought another 5 seconds on that play. Now, he paid the price. He took a tremendous lick right when he let that ball go.
So Letcher Central with the score, making it 42-12 as the clock will continue to roll. 2-point conversion will be tried by Letcher County Central.
He done what he had to do to get the touchdown, but he took a pretty good shot.
Howard to the right. And they're going to give it to Howard, and he's going to walk in, and that's going to be good. 42-14 as the Cougars convert the 2-point conversion after the touchdown pass. And we'll just stay right here. And our Alice Lloyd player of the game with 3 touchdowns on the night will be Mr. Junior, number 11, J.B. Woolham of the Belfry Pirates. And good luck to the Belfry Pirates on their season.
Yeah, that's going to do it, too. That's going to be the ball game.
And I don't think we're even going to attempt to kick off here. And, Jim?
Well,
thoughts on the game? And
very, very impressed this Belfry Pirate football team. A little bit more multidimensional they have been in the past, able to throw the ball a little bit more, and so fundamental on both sides of the football. Going to be a tough out for somebody this year. Got 3 quality running backs, a quarterback that can throw the ball, got some good receivers, and they play really good defense, and that's a recipe for a trip down to the big town.
Yeah, and, Leslie County will face them in the first round. Letcher Central will host the Knox KNOX Central here in the first round. So good luck to Letcher County Central. Good luck to the Belfry Pirates. Good luck to everybody in the first round. And, the thing about it is I don't think anybody was injured tonight, and that's you come out and
no injuries, no ejections.
And that means everybody ready to go in the first round. Once again, Monday night, we will be over at Shelby Valley as Knox County Central will face Shelby Valley in the first round of the state tournament. And if you can't go, stay with us. And on Tuesday, we start basketball at Alice Lloyd College. So if you can't go, join us here on Hometown 24. I want to thank Letcher County Central for their hospitality and getting us in here and out. Thanks to the Hometown 24 crew, who always does a really good job. And with that being said, everybody safe going home. God bless and good night.